than any other long cigarette. That's why Fatima doubles and redoubles its smokers. Yes, if you want a long cigarette, smoke the best of long cigarettes. Smoke Fatima.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Sunday, March 27th. It was windy in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of Georgia Street Juvenile Bureau. My partner's Ben Romero. The boss is Ed Backstrand, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. I was on the way up from the Juvenile Bureau, and it was 11:25 p.m. when I got to the receiving hospital, room 5, the treatment room.
Everything happens on Sunday nights, huh, Joe?
Yeah. How's the kid making out, Doc?
One arm is cut up badly. Nothing fatal, though. How'd it happen?
That's what I'd like to find out. Can I talk to him?
If you want. Don't press him, though. He's had a bad shock.
All right.
Officer here to talk to you, son.
I can't. Tell him I can't talk, please.
Just a few routine questions, son. You're going to have to answer them sooner or later.
Please. Can't you see what's happened already? I can't tell you anything.
Jack Monroe, is that your real name?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'll be 16 next July.
Where do you live?
I can't tell you. You know that. Now, let me alone, will you? Let me alone.
You've been running around with that gang of kids on Spring Street, haven't you? The big timers, isn't that what they call themselves?
I don't know anything about it. Believe me, I can't talk.
You tipped us off about the burglary they were going to pull tonight. Is that where they knifed you?
Look, will you believe me? I can't tell you anything. Not anything, please.
He's still shaky, Joe.
All right, Doc. Well, Jack, we'll talk about it later when you feel better.
You see what they've done to me already? They said next time they'd kill me.
Juvenile Bureau, Friday. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Fred. Goodbye.
How'd you make out, Joe?
Not very good, Ben. Captain Bowling come in yet?
You checked in while you were gone. Wants to see us.
Okay.
The kid tell you who knifed him?
No, I scared him good. He wouldn't tell me a thing.
You get a line on the boy's parents, Friday?
I got a hold of his father. He's on his way in.
How's the boy?
Bad knife wounds. Nothing fatal.
You know the boy?
Not till this afternoon, Captain. He tipped us off about a burglary a gang of young kids were supposed to pull tonight.
Did it go through?
No, but 2 hours ago, this Monroe kid was found in a vacant lot down on Olympic, cut up pretty bad. The gang must have pegged him.
How long is it going to take you to break that up?
Well, we're just starting to get a line on them, Bob. Must be nearly 100 in that gang.
And every one of them working hard. Take a look at the pin map over here. This spot here, look at it.
All the jobs pulled during the last month, huh?
The last 5 weeks, up to date. Red tabs for burglary, must be more than 100. The robberies, green pens, count them, at least 50. There's 5 more orange ones I added for the weekend, auto thefts. You bet those kids are working hard.
We got a lead on them. That's more than we had last week.
You have to push it harder. Here's the big reason. This line of pins, brown and black.
Purse snatchings.
Purse snatching and rape, 26 of them in the past 5 weeks.
They're pretty well concentrated in one area here.
That's right. Now, what's the lead you're working on?
Right there on the pin map, Captain.
Huh?
Well, these 2 blocks here, Bob, where Franco Alley intersects Spring Street.
Well, what about it?
Well, it's the only clear area for a dozen blocks around. There's not a colored pin on it, you see?
Yeah.
Now, all the rest of the pins, the robberies, burglaries, attacks, they all seem to branch out from this same spot right here in definite patterns. Franco Alley and Spring Street.
You figure that's the focal point for the gang?
Well, it's got all the marks.
For instance?
Well, we've been checking that neighborhood for a week. We got it narrowed down to one place. Right on the corner of Franco and Spring.
What is it?
It's a soda fountain. It's pretty typical. Only it stays open all night, and it gets a pretty good play from kids.
A regular hangout, Captain. Pretty tough youngsters. None of them over 18.
Who runs the place?
Guy named Eddie Ramsey, small-time con man. Had a run-in with him when we worked bunco detail.
I remember the name.
Smart mouth. Tried to give us trouble when we talked to some kids in there last night. He's got a place set up for him in the back of the store, kind of a club room.
It sounds like a good lead. What are you doing about it?
Well,
just a minute. Captain Bowling. Yeah? Who? Yeah, we'll be right down. The Monroe kid, his father's downstairs, cursing every one of us.
What's his problem?
Can't understand how his boy got into trouble.
Come on, Ben, let's tell him.
What kind of a city do we have when we can't allow our children out on the street without being stabbed or shot? What's our great police force doing when this is going on? I'd like an answer if you got one. I demand an answer.
We got an answer for you, Mr. Monroe. Will you sit down?
My boy's lying in there in that hospital bed, cut to pieces. What did you do to prevent it? Tell me.
You tell us, Mr. Monroe. What'd you do to prevent it?
I'm no cop. That's your job. I pay my taxes and I help pay your salary.
We look out for your kids, but we don't raise them. That's
What are you
your
talking
job.
about?
Just a minute, Mr. Monroe. Answer me this. How old is your son, Jack?
He's 16, I think. Why?
You know what he does with his spare time? Where he spends his nights?
Of course I do. He's at home. Some nights he goes to the library.
Then you don't know much about your son, Mr. Monroe. For the past month, 4 nights out of 5, he's been hanging around with a gang down at a soda fountain on Spring Street. He's down there as late as 2 a.m.
He says he goes to the library. How do I know? I'm a busy man.
Did you know that your son is mixed up with that gang?
He's not mixed up with a gang.
A bunch of small-time thieves, but they're growing. They started with purse snatching, breaking in parked cars, burglarizing candy stores.
You don't know what you're talking
Wait a
about.
minute, please. Then they took up robbery, stealing cars, beating up girls, women, attacking them.
You're crazy. Jack's not that kind.
He's part of that gang, and right now we hold all of them responsible.
My boy wouldn't do anything like that.
He's a member of that gang, he told us. They're the ones that knifed him tonight.
That's a lie. Jack's not mixed up with anything like that.
You believe anything you want, Mr. Monroe. We're going to protect your boy as much as we can, but don't expect us to raise him for you. Now, you better take a free piece of advice.
You keep your advice. Jack's not in this. You can't prove he is.
We're not out to prove anything right now. But you catch up with that boy of yours. Keep him off the streets before it's too late.
Are you threatening me?
No, sir, advising you. Next time we might meet at the morgue. 1 a.m. Monday, March 28th. A detail of 50 officers from Juvenile Bureau and Metropolitan Division were deployed for 16 blocks along Figueroa Street. At 5 minutes past 1, they started to move south over an appointed area. In the space of half an hour, 18 young kids, none of them over 17 years old, were picked up off the streets and brought to the second floor at 1335 Georgia Street, the Juvenile Bureau. 4 of the youngsters were girls. At 1:45 a.m., Ben and I checked the soda fountain on the corner of Franco Alley and Spring Street.
Same bunch, Joe. Business as usual.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, Teddy, the Bulls. They're back again. Same guys.
Go back and tell Eddie. Hey, look, why do you guys have to keep tracking us, huh? You'd think we were crooks or something.
You were here the last time we checked in, Teddy. You ever go home?
Sure, when I'm tired. I ain't tired. What's the matter?
That's your money on the table there?
Sure, it's my money. You want to borrow a buck?
$28. That's a lot of money for a boy your age.
You keep pretty late hours, son. You have to go to school in the morning?
Maybe. I can sit here, can't I? It's free country. I'm drinking coffee. You gonna make me on that?
You've been drinking more than coffee. Where's your driver's license?
Oh, every time the same thing. There.
March 10th, 1933, 16 years old.
They giving you trouble, Ted? Eddie's on his way out.
What's your name?
Jones. Clyde Jones. Huh, Ted?
Sure. He's got money, too. Rich family.
You can save the smart talk, boys. Any of your pals in the back room?
What's the trouble now, Sergeant? How many times a week do we get a checkup?
Go ahead, Eddie. Read them off.
We told you the last time, Ramsey. Clean up your place here or we'll ride your back till you do.
I told you the last time, Sergeant. There's nothing wrong with my place.
It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. You got a dozen underage kids hanging around here doing nothing. Some of them have been drinking. Schoolboys.
Better to have them in here than hanging around outside in the street. I keep an eye on them. You're not the guardian, Ramsey. This time of night, they've got no business in here or on the street alone. That's your opinion, huh?
That's the law, Ramsey. Now, either you shut down that back room and keep these kids out of here late at night, or we'll go after your license.
You don't scare me, Sergeant. You can't prove a thing.
A couple of these kids have juvenile records. They're on probation. We can tag you for contributing.
You still don't scare me. Now, why don't you leave the kids alone?
That's right, Eddie. Read them off.
Ben, get Benson and Bell.
Roger.
If you won't clean up your place, Ramsey, we'll do it for you.
Yeah? What are you going to do?
We're pulling these boys in, all of them. $2:25 a.m. Monday, March 28th. The dragnet operation had netted 30 juveniles, 26 boys, 4 girls. 24 of the children were between the ages of 16 and 17. They were lodged in the assembly room at the Georgia Street Juvenile Bureau. The other half dozen were 13 and 15-year-olds. They were taken to the juvenile hall at 1369 Henry Street. At 2:43 a.m., we met with Captain Bowling.
They're all checked in, 30 of them.
All right, in the morning we file petitions to have every one of these cases brought to the attention of the juvenile court. Make a note of it.
Okay, Bob.
For the kids with records, ask for detention from the probation department.
Right. We'll call their parents in the morning.
Call them now. They've got some explaining to do.
By 6 a.m., all but 3 of the children's parents had shown up. To most of them, it was nothing new. Their kids had been there before. They'd be there again. They took the lecture from the juvenile officers calmly. As long as it didn't mean trouble for them, they wouldn't worry. When they got their children home, they would reprimand them, not for running the streets, but for being picked up by the police. Ben and I had seen the cycle of the young criminals start before, 100 times over. It had a lot of different endings, most of them sour. During the next week that followed, we booked an average of a dozen juvenile delinquents every night. The clampdown continued, so did the crime wave.
10 burglaries, 4 robberies, 8 car thefts, 6 purse snatchings, 3 assaults on women. 1 week's work.
Picked up a new angle on Ramsey today, Captain. He might be fencing for the game.
Who gave you the tip-off?
One of our informants. Ramsey's brother lives out in the valley. He's supposed to be pushing this stuff.
You check him out?
Yeah, couldn't get a thing on him.
Well, that might explain what attracts the kids to that soda fountain.
It explains those $20 bills the kids are flashing. They steal and rob, and then they sell the loot to Ramsey for nothing.
Another thing. Ramsey keeps his place open all night, and there's no reason to. He doesn't get that much trade. It's only from the young gang that hangs around there.
You question the kids. How do they account for having all that money?
Well, most of them say Ramsey lends it to them. They say they pay him back a little at a time. I think he's fencing for the kids.
Have you tried to get his license?
No luck, Captain. We can't prove a thing against him.
Then we'll do it the hard way. Sweat it out.
That night, we drove out to Ramsey's soda fountain and asked him again to clean up his place, to keep the young kids out after 10 o'clock at night, to stop lending them money. He refused. There was nothing we could do. His business was a public place. He could not be held responsible for any of his patrons. In the next 10 days that followed, Ben and I haunted the sidewalk outside the soda fountain. We questioned every youngster as they entered and left. We made more than a dozen arrests. Many of the kids had been drinking heavily. We found some of them under the influence of narcotics. But Ramsey was still in the clear. The crime wave continued sporadically. Ben and I waited for our chance. It was a long time coming. Thursday, April 14th, we had dinner at Johnny Cokin's place, and it was 10:35 p.m. when we checked back in at the office.
Hot shot. Grab it, Joe.
Yeah.
The terminal on Market Street, a 459 and shooting. The terminal on Market Street, a 459.
Let's go. He was approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall, 125 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, slight build, fair complexion. He was wearing blue jeans and a corduroy jacket. We found him between a row of packing cases at the rear of the warehouse at Terminal and Market Streets. There was a single bullet hole in his forehead just above the left eye. There was a .38 revolver near his right hand. The watchman told us how it happened.
He broke in the back of the warehouse, Sergeant. He wanted to shoot it out with me.
Here's his ID card. Fell out of his pocket.
Teddy Cameron, age 15.
Dear God. A kid. I didn't know, Sergeant.
He didn't either. He thought he was grown up.
You are listening to Dragnet for the solution to an actual case from official police files. Now, here's the solution to many of your Christmas shopping problems.
If your friends smoke a long cigarette, give the best of long cigarettes.
Give Fatima, and all is well. Fatima.
The long cigarette that contains an essential ingredient of all the very popular cigarettes, Turkish tobacco.
Give Fatima, and all is well. Fatima.
The cigarette that has a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
Give Fatima, and all is well. Fatima.
The cigarette that has doubled and redoubled in popularity. Here are the authentic reports. New York Division.
Fatima sales up 132%.
Chicago Division.
Fatima sales up 453%.
Los Angeles Division.
Fatima sales up 545%.
More and more smokers agree Fatima is the best of long cigarettes. So enjoy Fatima yourself and give Fatima for Christmas in the attractive golden yellow carton. Everyone who smokes Fatima says that this great new long cigarette is the best of all long cigarettes.
Los Angeles Police Department, Form 311, dead body report. Type, gunshot. DR number 437695. Victim, Theodore Cameron. Residence address, 960 Charter Street. Date and time of death, Thursday, April 14th, 10:35 p.m. Place, Terminal and Market Streets, South State Warehouse. Cause of death, gunshot. Motive or reason, attempted burglary. Time discovered, 10:40 p.m. Removed to County Morgue. Discovered by Carl Hyba, night watchman. Identified by Barbara Cameron, sister. Description of victim, male, Caucasian. Age 15. Height. Weight. So-and-so. Occupation, student. Descent, English. And was a witness. Signed, Joe Friday. Serial number 2288. Age 15.
Ready, Joe? And Cameron Boy's sister. She's waiting in the next room.
Yeah, let's go. She taking it hard?
Yeah.
Morning, Miss Cameron.
Good morning.
We won't keep you long. Just a few routine questions.
Yes, all right.
Miss Cameron, how many are there in your family?
There were 3 of us. Teddy, Mike, and me. Mother and father are dead. I work. Teddy and Mike go to school. Mike does.
How old is your brother Mike, Miss Cameron?
He's 14.
You're the sole support of your 2 brothers?
Yes.
Do you have any idea who the boys were your brother Ted used to run around with?
I don't know them by name. I remember seeing a couple of them once or twice. Mike would know, I think. He and Ted were pretty close, brothers.
Do you know if Ted mixed with a gang of kids down on Spring Street?
Maybe Mike would know that. Sergeant Teddy wasn't a bad boy. He wasn't a bum. None of us are. I tried to raise the boys like Ma told me. It wasn't easy. We made out.
Yes, I understand, Miss Cameron.
My salary didn't have too much, but we got by.
Yeah.
I figured on getting married. I'm 31. It'd be good for the boys, especially Teddy. He's dead, isn't he? Yeah. I couldn't be in 2 places at once. Hold a job and watch the kids. But that's why I thought maybe a husband.
I'm sorry to press, Miss Cameron. Do you think your brother Mike can tell us about that Spring Street gang?
Oh, Mike could know.
Where can we find him?
Staying at a friend's house. I got the address in my bag. Here. That's 2514. I don't write numbers too well.
Thank you, Miss Cameron. You've been very helpful.
I'll get somebody to drive you home.
Oh, do I have to go? Would it be all right if I just sit here for a while?
That's all right.
I'm tired. Real tired.
2514 West Serrano Street. That was the address Barbara Cameron had given us. It was the home of Mr. and Mrs. Jean Brewer, high school friends of the dead boy's sister. We talked to Mike Cameron. He told us that his brother Teddy had been running around with a gang down on Spring Street. He identified Ramsey Soda Fountain as the hangout. It was 2:25 p.m. when we got back to Georgia Street Juvenile Bureau.
I got it. Juvenile Bureau, Romero. Yeah, hold on, I'll call him. You, Joe.
Thanks. Friday.
Joe, this is Canfield in burglary.
Yeah, Homer.
You're working that Cameron case, aren't you?
Yeah?
I just got a report on one you might be interested in, out of the same neighborhood. Distillery prowl.
What do you got on it?
Looks like a juvenile M.O. They got away with 7 cases of Scotch whiskey. Expensive stuff.
Okay, we'll hop on it.
Bubeck Warehouse, Crocker at 7th.
Miss Elizabeth Rice was the auditor in charge at the Bubeck Warehouse. We located her on the mezzanine office row. It was her job to keep a running inventory on all incoming and outgoing liquor stock. She knew her job well.
As you know, Sergeant Friday, each and every bottle of distilled spirits carries a United States Internal Revenue stamp.
Yes, ma'am.
Each stamp carries a serial number together with the name of the firm to whom the stamps are issued.
Well, Miss Rice, in the stuff that's missing, the stamp on each bottle carries the case number. Is that right?
That's right. Now, what did I tell you? Oh, yes, I have it right here. 7 cases of high-grade blended Scotch whiskey. 12 bottles to the case. Canada Dry Incorporated. 4 of the red label and 3 of the black label. Johnny Walker.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Rice.
And you think that this might be a juvenile case, Sergeant?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
7 cases. That's close to $600, isn't it?
We've lost a great deal more than that, Sergeant. The insurance company makes up for the liquor loss.
Yes, ma'am.
Those youngsters, who makes up for them?
Ben and I left the Bubeck warehouse with a list of serial numbers of the 7 cases of stolen liquor. We headed back for the Juvenile Bureau. We figured that there was a strong possibility that the Spring Street gang was responsible for the warehouse liquor theft. How were they disposing of the stolen property? That was the key question we had to answer. Ben and I had a hunch and a tip from an informant that the young gang was operating under the guidance of a fence, a man or woman whose job it is to dispose of stolen property. The gang members were close to Ramsey at the soda fountain. Ramsey was the logical suspect.
All right. Now, suppose they did steal the liquor. Suppose Ramsey's a fence. What's he done with the stuff?
I don't think he's turned it this fast, if he's turned it at all.
He wouldn't keep it at the soda fountain, no liquor license. And we've been around too much.
He wouldn't keep it in his house. He lives in the rear of the fountain. It's too hot.
Only leaves one other location that we know about.
His brother's place in the valley. It was 5 minutes to 10 when we turned left off Ventura Boulevard onto Sepulveda. Ramsey's brother had a small farm about a mile and a half off the highway. It was a modest white frame house planted squarely in the center of an acre of ground. An unpaved driveway led off to the left of the house to the garage. Pull up here, huh?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks kind of quiet, no lights.
Let's go.
Mud sticks to everything.
Now, where's the doorbell? Oh, here it is. You got your flashlight?
Yeah, what?
Here's a note somebody left.
Oh, it's on the bum again. Here, I'll strike a match.
Okay. Can you hold it a little closer?
Can you read it?
Yeah. Harry, wife and I have gone to the drive-in theater. Before you put the truck away, get 3... Can you hold that match closer?
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Yeah. Get 3 cases out of the garage and take them into town. Ed is waiting. Please try to make it by 11:30 tonight. Let's see. It's signed George. The address is here.
And there's the garage.
Yeah, come on.
3 cases. Could be eggs, Joe.
If it is, we wasted a trip.
Oh, I'm out of matches, Joe.
All right, here, use mine. What was that?
Checking.
Come on.
See anything?
No.
There goes the light. Just a minute. I'll strike another one.
You can save your matches. We found it. We found 5 cases of Scotch whiskey on the floor of the garage. We checked the serial numbers against the warehouse list. They matched. We went back to the car and called communications. We had an immediate stakeout placed on George Ramsey's place, and then we headed back for the city. It was 11:20 p.m. when we got to the address we found on the note.
Oh, it's about time, Harry.
Hello, Ramsey. We can do without the music.
What's your problem this time? Hey, you're almost out of scotch, Ramsey. Serial numbers check out, Joe.
Sorry I can't offer you a drink.
We're too old to drink here, aren't we, Ramsey?
Where's your phone?
You want to invite somebody? You can see we're out of booze.
You got a phone?
In the hall.
Ben, call the office.
Yeah.
All right, what's it all about?
We've been out to your brother's place. What happened to the other 2 cases? You drink them here?
I gave it to the kids. What are you looking at me like that for, Sergeant?
Anything wrong, Eddie?
Party's over, kid.
The story you have just heard was true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
On June 5th, 1949, trial was held in Superior Court, Department 74, City and County of Los Angeles, State of California. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Earlier tonight, you heard the reports of amazing increases in Fatima smokers from New York to Los Angeles. Yes, all over the country, Fatima is doubling and redoubling its sales. And here's reason one.
Fatima is the long cigarette that contains an essential ingredient of all the very popular cigarettes, Turkish tobacco.
Reason two.
Fatima has a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
Reason three.
To millions of smokers, the name Fatima has always stood for the best in cigarette quality. Smoke Fatima, the best of all long cigarettes.
Edward and George Ramsey were tried and convicted in Superior Court of receiving stolen property. After serving their terms as prescribed by law in the state penitentiary, they will be returned to the county jail where they will serve a one-year term for contributing to the delinquency of minors. You have just heard Dragnet, a new series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the Office of Acting Chief of Police, W.A. Wharton, Los Angeles Police Department.
Honoring the city of Greenwich, state of Connecticut, and the men who make up the Greenwich Police Department, another of America's great law enforcement agencies. One of these men, Chief John M. Gleason, FBI National Police Academy graduate, who dedicates his life to making yours more secure.
Fatima Cigarettes, the best of long cigarettes, has brought you Dragnet from Los Angeles. This Christmas, give the gift that makes every pipe...
Let's do this indeed. Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Oh, bother. I'm a little Eeyore-ish today. I try not to think about stuff too much, but sometimes I just can't help it, and it overwhelms me. So I try not to think about stuff. Pardon my reality. Pardon. Dang it. I've got to send a few messages this morning about t-shirts. And then I've got to go out later today and talk to the t-shirt people about t-shirts. Oh, I gotta have an extra giveaway shirt. Damn it. Right. Hey, good morning, Joey. How are you, brother? I was thinking about you this morning and last night and like all the time. Yeah. What's going on, dude? Is your trip out here still postponed? Postponed? And if so, when are you coming? Okay. Postpony. It's a postpony. Right on. I'm glad to hear that you're good. I'm old and broken, but I'm here. That's just as much as I'm gonna claim. Yeah, baby. Cleaning them boots. Oh. You know, we got that that concert coming up in on the 20th of October in Las Vegas, and right before that festival weekend, like 6 days before that festival weekend. It's on a Sunday, by the way, the 20th. Right before that, I'm going to have a bunch of teeth pulled in preparation for dentures. Not all of them, but I'm going to have a few on one side pulled, I believe, is how they're going to work it. I'll know more later. But as I am right now, I'm really not up to doing this festival. So let me know what you think about flying out here to Vegas for a couple of nights and hanging out and going to this concert in my stead. I'm going to drive out with the kids and take them, my daughter and her friend Charlie. But she's got an extra ticket for me, and I don't want to use it. So let me know if you think you might want to fly out for a couple of nights to Vegas and meet us there and party for a couple of nights. Yeah. Free ticket, free room. All you got to do is get there. I don't know, your schedule's probably pretty crazy. So what do you think, little brother? I asked my daughter, I said, so before you ask anybody else, maybe I should check with Joey and see if he wants to go. And she says, yeah, that'd be cool. I don't even know him, but I like him. I said, right on. Cool. So she said, yeah, invite Joey. So you're invited if you'd like to come. Let me know before we do something with this ticket. Because, you know, I like to share. We like to share. We're fun people. Post-ponied. You got your pony tied to a post? He's a post-ponied. Yeah, man, for sure. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. But, you know, you don't have to give me an answer right away. You can think about it a day or two and find out about work stuff and all of that. And if you can get the time off and get a ride to the airport or whatever, get a plane ticket. Maybe might too short of a notice for my job. Yeah, it might be. It's, it's a couple of weeks out. Yeah, I guess if you can't, you can't. If you can switch things around and get somebody to cover for you or have your days switched a little bit, that'd be cool. But if you want, find out. I'll give you a couple of days before we look for somebody else for this ticket. You know? Because if you can afford to get here, we'd love to have you. And you know, you have the same musical interests as my daughter. So, there you go. And you guys are about the same age, 20 and 24, so it should be kind of neat if you're up for it. You know, if not, no big deal. But if so, that'd be cool. So anyway, take some time, think about it, work on it, see if you can do it. If you want to give me a definite no right away, that's cool too. Arg. Because I'm old and broken, and I'm not up for a festival. I mean, really, just going to these, you know, concerts, it takes a lot out of me. You know, I feel like a Datsun in a Nissan world, baby.
What the hell does that mean? You're talking shit again.
Yep, that's what I do. Well, that's good to hear. If they really like you at your job and they might approve that, then do it. Go for it. Ask. Find out. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, I may actually get most of my teeth pulled. I may go to immediate dentures. I might get them all pulled. Who knows? So I don't want to postpone my dental procedure because I've been waiting too long. But I also don't want to, you know, go to a festival, you know, as an old gummer. So, yeah. Find out, brother. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. But, yeah, we'd love to have you. I'm going to get my daughter to reserve the big room for us we'll probably just get a big suite and get a couple of extra little beds thrown in, you know, like that. Because they're pretty, the last room we had was huge. We could have fit a couple of little beds in there for sleeping. But it was just me and my daughter last time, so we just slept in the big queen bed together. So, yeah. That'd be pretty cool. You know, and me, I'll just do the driving out there, hang out in the room, take everyone to the show back and forth. It's going to be a long day, so there's that. And then I'll be ready to come and get everybody at the end of the evening and take you to the airport and drag everybody else home and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it'd be neat. The festival is all day long. It starts at around noonish, I think. It starts at around lunchtime. We're not exactly sure of the exact, my daughter said we won't know the exact lineup and show times and stuff until a couple of days before. And then, of course, this is the second day of the festival. So, we'll know more. She's got a friend who's actually going that she's like, well, I can give my friend the ticket. And I'm saying, they're going to the first day and you want them to go to the second day with you and spend the whole day? I said, they're not going to want to do that. I said, they're going to be too wiped out. So anyway, this is the acts. This is the list of acts that is going to be there. You can't really read it too well, but each line, left and right, is an act and an album that they're going to be playing. My Chemical Romance is going to be playing the Black Plague album. The only people who are not doing an actual album is going to be Fall Out Boy. They're not doing an album. They don't do themed concerts. Everybody else is doing their album from like 20 years ago, right? When we were young festival. So if you look at the amount of acts, there's going to be more than one stage. I think there's 2 stages or 3 stages. So you're going to be moving around from stage to stage to try to catch the specific acts you want to see, right? But what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it looks like there's 30 on each side, about 30 bands on each side. So it's going to be a long deal. It's going to be an all-day thing. I'm assuming that they're going to, well, don't assume anything, but I imagine they're going to have 2 or 3 stages going and have somebody playing all the time, and they're going to have really quick setups, you know. They should be moving from band to band to band really quick, and they're playing albums, so it should be about 40 minutes to an hour set, 30 minutes to an hour set, depending on the size of the album. So there. But it is on the 20th of October on a Sunday, so you'd have to fly out. We're going to be there Saturday. Saturday night, we're showing up Saturday evening, and then we'll be coming home Monday. So you can fly back Monday, and we can take you to the airport then. So, yeah, if you could swing that, that'd be cool. That'd be totally cool. I don't know if we're going to be staying in the same place. I would love to be staying in the same, even the same style of suite. It's a couple of weeks out, and my daughter hasn't gotten any rooms yet. So we're going to have to get jumping on that. And then, yeah, we're going to drive out there for a couple of days, which leaves my wife here without a car. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, baby? Yeah, man. Totally. Yeah, she was pretty jazzed when I said, well, why don't I ask Joey? She's like, yeah, ask Joey. That's cool. She's got a big smile on her face. That's awesome. That's awesome. She's like, I'm like, so why don't you invite some of your friends? And she says, like, Deja, she's got to work. She's got, like, it's too long for her to be away. And I'm like, oh, man, you know, what sucks to be in a new job, right? I said, well, what about some of your other friends? And she's like, well, none of my other friends like the same music I do. I said, oh, man, it sucks to be weird, huh? So, yeah, she's like, I'm like, well, ask cousins. You got, your mom's got a bunch of relatives. Ask about your cousins. She's like, well, I keep asking, but, people are moved and married and, working, and it's like, oh, geez. I got, I don't really have any heavy-duty friends or family I can hit up for this. Yeah, I mean, I had tried to set up an alternative, a backup for me, just in case something like this were to happen. And he's got a big life, big social, big work, big everything, big music. So I can't ask him, even though I've already hit him up for about that time period. I think they're like out of town or something that week. So, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm just not going to be up for it. Just not. It's the drive out there and back is probably going to be enough for me. It's a 4-hour drive, which is not a big drive, and it's a beautiful drive through the desert. So, yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like the drive out there. And we're going out a day early. We're going out the day before the concert, just because it's an all-day thing. We don't want to drive out there and then get to the concert late and then, be exhausted from the drive. And so we're going to get out there the day before, get a good night's rest, and then get over to the venue early, because Natalie likes to get to the venues early. She's going to come home with a million T-shirts, I swear. She's like Dad. She's like the T-shirt monster. I created a T-shirt monster. She goes through a whole semester of school without wearing the same T-shirt twice, and she's like as proud as Dad is. It's so cool. Yeah, it's very, very hip. Very hip. So anyways, man. Anyways, man. Totally. Yeah, so the festival is one day long. It's on the 20th. It's all day long on Sunday. We're going to be out there Saturday. And then the festival is Sunday, all day Sunday. And then we're going to be checking out of the motel on Monday at 11. And then anytime around then, we would be able to run you to the airport. Unless you leave early. And then, I could still run you to the airport. If you leave late, well, we'll hang around and take you to the airport. I mean, whatever you want to do. Whatever, But it should be a lot of fun. Totally. Let's see, just Sunday, October 20th. Yep, okay. There we go. Just to make sure. So yeah, if you get out there on Saturday, as early as possible on Saturday, because we're probably going to be out there around check-in time at the hotel, unless there's something here that keeps us from leaving town early. We'll probably be out there relatively early evening on Saturday. We want to get out there, give us time to get checked in and get some food and get relaxed and get to the room and, chill out. Sunday it's just all festival. I mean, it's get up early, get ready, get geared up, and go. Big hats, loose fit clothing, sunblock, water bottle, that kind of stuff, and a lot of money, because of course you can't bring anything in with you, but and they're going to charge the hell out of you for everything. So you figure you're going to eat 2 or 3 meals in there, and you're going to be drinking a lot of liquid, and that liquid's got to, So if they sell water bottles in there, then you've got to buy a water bottle. If they don't allow you to bring one in, then you got to buy one. It's great being an old guy because I can take in actual bottles of water with me and say, I'm old, I got pills, I got to take it, you can't deny me. But your young folk, they're going to say, you can't bring in shit, man. So there. And my daughter's got to bring in a bag, right? She's got to bring in a bag so that she can fill it with all her shirts and whatnot. Yeah, it's going to be an all-day thing for her. So it's going to be, she's going to have to decide whether or not she wants to wear contacts all day long in the grit and the dust and stuff, or if she just wants to wear glasses. So she'll have to do that. Usually she'll wear contacts, and then if it's a long drive home or to the restaurant we go to after the show, then she'll take her contacts out in the restroom before we leave the venue. Otherwise, she'll get to the restaurant where we eat, usually In and Out, always In and Out after the show, and she'll take her contacts out there. Since we're just going to be going probably from the venue to In and Out and then back to the room, she probably won't take her contacts out if she's wearing them. But it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. So much music. I mean, there are so many bands playing, right? I mean, and everything that you guys are into, which is really, really cool. The fact that I really wanted to see Motion City Soundtrack again. I really wanted to see Fall Out Boy again, Pierce the Veil, My Chemical Romance, Jimmy Eat World. I mean, there's a bunch of bands there that I've really gotten into in the last couple of years because my daughter listens to them. But it's stuff I'm sure that you love to listen to, like all the time. So it would be like, yeah, you were like this. As soon as I thought, I don't want to go to this, you were the first person that came into my head who would really enjoy this. And then every time my daughter says, my friends don't really like the same kind of music, it's like, it's fucking Joey, man. He likes all this stuff and the stuff that I like, We just went to Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, Jeff Lynne, right? We're both just, she's crying. I'm just like, right? So, yeah, concerts. Woo! All right. I have got to let this dog do something here and warm up my coffee. All right, dog, I'm coming. Totally cool. No wedgie, no wedgie, no wedgie. Yeah. Las Vegas, baby. So yeah, get out there early enough and you've got a night to hang out in Vegas. Check stuff out, I got the kids that are underage. They're only 20. So they can't go out and do casinos and bars and stuff. But there is, Saturday night in Vegas, there is stuff to do. My daughter, I kept getting, get a room, and now it's like a couple of weeks away. It's going to be a little costly, but she can handle it. She does this stuff all the time. This is her gig. Concerts is her, she should be a, what are those, a personal concert, what do you, I don't know, concert buddy, right? It's like she knows exactly how to get the tickets, where to get them, how to get them quick and cheap, and how to get good seats, and you know, figuring out all the different venues and the ins and outs of all of the venues. And now she's into renting motels and hotels and Airbnbs and stuff. So now she's on, you know, and she's a great co-pilot when you're in the car driving, you know. And it's like, yeah, she should be like a professional concert arranger, organizer buddy, you know. Someone who arranges a whole concert weekend for you, you know. All right, so here's your tickets, and here's where you're staying, okay? And I set you up for dinner at this restaurant. It's a really nice restaurant. You guys will like that on Saturday night, and then the night of the concert. You know, that'd be really cool.
That's your job?
Yeah.
Making people happy. Yeah. Yeah.
So I took a nap yesterday. I only got about 3 hours sleep the night before, and then I took a nap yesterday. I only napped for about an hour. I laid there, and then finally went down hard for a nap for about an hour, hour and a half, and then got up and started chicken, made barbecued chicken for the family.
And then did absolutely nothing.
I think I sat in here and played Minecraft for a couple of hours while the food was cooking before the girls got home. I'll probably play a couple of hours of Minecraft this morning while my daughter's still sleeping and my wife is gone. She's got to run out and go help a friend for the day. In fact, I got to help that same friend. I have to build that gate for the inside of her house at the end of a hall. She's got these doors that open up, but she wants to have it open but closed so the dogs can't get through, you know. So I got to build a gate. And what I need to do now is I've drawn up the gate and the plans and the measurements. So now I have to take those measurements and go to Home Depot and find the correct materials to build that out of. Pardon me. And then make an estimate on how much those materials are going to cost. My labor is inconsequential. My wife and my wife can work that out, right? It's like I'm just doing it because I can, and I like to get out and build things and create things. You know, it's probably going to hurt to do it, you know. But I got to do it. It's, you know, it's what I do. I try to help people. I try to, you know, and there's dogs involved, which makes it even more important that I get this so that the dogs can come in and have a place in the house and not have the run of the house, right? And the gate's got to be strong enough for big dogs to jump up on.
Yes, sir, Baba Rooney.
It's a bummer I can't put it on the inside of the doorway, because then the dogs wouldn't be able to push. It would just bump right up against a door jamb. But it's got a latch. It's going to open on the outside of the door, so it's going to have a latch on it, and it's just going to be held by that one latch. The dogs are like up dogs, so they're going to jump up, which is where the latch strength is going to be. So dogs don't put their head down and push like a bull on the bottom of a gate, so that's not going to be an issue. But it's a wide gate. It's like 50-some inches wide, right? It's huge. It's a bloody huge friggin' gate. Let me grab my pen. It's 48 inches tall, and it is 55 inches wide from wall to wall. Wow, it's a big gate. It's a big gate. In fact, let me show you my diagram here. There's my diagram of my little gate there. Right. My diagrammy. Let's do that. can see. There's my diagrammy. And it's just a little drawing on graph paper so that I can get an idea of what it's going to look like three-dimensionally on a two-dimensional piece of paper. And then measurements, get all of my measurements right. And then when I go to create it, all I have to do is create a series of pieces that are just puzzle pieces. And once I get all the puzzle pieces done, then I just sit down and start putting the puzzle together. And that's how that works. Yeah, so I started Minecrafting a new game just because I was kind of bored with where I was. So I created an idea that the character that I use for the game, Frederick, in Frederickville, Frederickland, has gone to sleep and is dreaming or is actually lost, but he is dreaming of being lost or is actually lost. So I'm playing another world as the same character, only where am I? What's going on? And I started off thinking, okay, I'm just going to go there and I'm just going to like do a survival thing where I'm just going to kind of run around and see what's going on and camp here and camp there and camp here and camp there. And then I made a little cave home in the side of a mountain. And then I started digging around to this mountain, out each side of the mountain, right, to kind of see which direction to go in. And then I built a tunnel up to the top of the mountain and decided to put a house on the top of the mountain and then probably a tower so that I could go real high and look out and, you know, kind of explore visually. But I haven't left the place that I started. I'm still within, you know, 100 blocks of my spawn site. So I haven't explored anything. All I've done is harvest trees, harvest stone, do a little bit of mining, and build on the top of this mountain. I've been building on the top of this mountain. I built a little one-story beginning to my castle. I built a wall all the way around the top of this mountain after I leveled it down to a little flat area. And then I started working on a wall down a level lower so that you can come out of that upper walled area, come down some stairs, open a door, and come out onto another tier, right? And then I went to the other, there's like two tops to this mountain, right? So I went over to the other top of this mountain, leveled it down a little bit, and now I'm going to clear cut it, make it as big and as wide as possible, and I'm just going to plant. I'm just going to plant everything I can possibly plant. I'm going to plant a shitload of wheat because that's what I got. I got seeds. And then I'm like, if I like get a carrot from a zombie or something, then I'll plant carrots and I'll start doing carrots. Same things, potatoes. If I ever get out and explore, I may actually find some more stuff to plant. But for now, I'm just living on this mountaintop. Just that. Just living on this mountaintop. And it's a really big mountaintop. It kind of goes out in a couple of different directions, right? And so I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I think I just want to start at the tops, clear the tops of the mountain, and then surround them with wall, shore them up, stairs, connect them all, and then probably reforest around all of that. But at the same time, I keep doing a wall, a level, and then a staircase down, and then another tier, another level that goes all the way around that upper level, and then step down again, do another tier, just like an old school castle, right? It would be neat if at some point I were to find a village and be able to bring villagers up to this mountaintop and create a community up there. That would be neat. I remember one game that we played, my daughter and I, and it was this huge world once again, and I created this monastery, all right, there was this mountain, and it was this mountain that went up, and it was all rock. It looked great. It wasn't dirt. It was just a rock mountain sticking up out of this dirt hill, right? So I went up there, and I started building on the very highest point. I started building these temples, right? And I built temples all over this thing on this mountaintop all the way around, and then down in the center in this little valley within the caldera, right? In this little valley, I made a little lake and farmed and stuff, and then I just brought villager after villager up there and created this monastery, and then built a marketplace for the monks to sell their wares, and built little shops in a little marketplace area. Man, I haven't been to that world in years, but that was, that was really fun. So in this little lost world that I'm at now, I'm just having fun building, because that's my big thing about Minecraft, just building, build. I like to do it in survival mode, because you have to mine for every single thing that you build with. Every single thing that you make, you have to create from stuff that you've mined, right? So it's really intricate and really detailed, and really, it's hands-on, right? Everything that you do, you're involved every step of the way. Not like in creative mode, where everything is right at your disposal. You just, roll through the menu, and it's like, okay, I want this block, okay, I want this door, okay, I want this, it's all right there. It's too easy. If your goal is to create this huge world as quick as possible without being hindered by days and nights and zombies and all that stuff, then creative mode is the way to go. If your goal is just to build a world for looks, that's great. But you can build something and then go back and play it in survival. But to me, it's not the same. I mean, to flip back and forth, we used to do that. We had worlds in survival and creative and survival. We go back and forth and do stuff. But I just love it in survival mode. I died once already in Lost, right? I was just building, and all of a sudden, boom, I got blown up. And because I don't have really good armor, he was really close to me. I died instantly. But the great part was that I'm just working on this mountaintop. So I just woke up from bed and ran outside and ran a few blocks away, and boom, picked up all of my stuff. And because I had just started playing, I don't even remember how many points I had. But of course I picked up my usual 7. And it was fine, because it's not like the other world where I've got like over 50 points that I would lose and I would be bummed about. So I picked up my stuff and my 7 points and just went back to work. And it was fun. I'll probably work on that a little bit this morning. The flat top, the other flat mountain top, because it's like one here and then it dips down a little bit and then up, and I've evened that dip. So now you just run down a set of stairs, run over, run up a set of stairs, and you're on this other flat mountain top, right? And I'm just going to surround it with cobblestone wall, torches, and put lights throughout the whole place, and then just put little farms, just little gardens, right? And that's like 9 by 9 blocks, one hole in the middle filled with water, and everything else hoed up and seeded, and that's it. And then go to the next little square, and the next little square, and just stack these little squares all up on the top there, and put a little soddy house to put the stuff that's harvested, right? Some barrels, some chests, that kind of stuff there. I'm gonna check out my little woohoo.
this here is my little to-do bong here. Yeah, baby. Just like to use something different. Because, because I'm a stoner. And I'm a loner. He's a loner and a stoner. It's just Throwback Thursday, so I'm using my old throwback method here. Getting irie, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. There you go. To-do. It's a to-do. It's Throwback Thursday, so let me know if you want to learn how to make one of these, and I'll hook you up. Mine isn't beautiful, but it's, it works. It works. It ain't perfect, but it works perfectly. So last night, my wife goes to bed, and I go and I turn off the lights, and I'm like, oh, I just turn off all the lights in there. Usually if I go in there to read, I'll go in while she's still awake, and then she'll kind of drift off and then kind of cover up and go to sleep, and I can read with the light on. So I go in there last night, it's like, oh, it's so dark. So I grab my book and I come sit out here, and I read out here for a little while, until about 11. So about 9:30 to about 11, I'm sitting out here reading. And I've only got a couple of chapters left in this book, and it's really bumming me out. It's bringing me down, man. Because I know it's not going to go as far as I want. It's not going to, they're just not going to do everything that I want in this book, right? It's a great read. I'm loving it, but I want more, and it's not even over yet. So I gotta get out. I gotta find me a new read. And what's great about the Howard family, Ron Howard, Clint Howard, Rance, and his mom, and everybody, they were so down to earth and laid back, and Oklahoma farmer family, and they're just, even now, you read, and you could still see that, Ron Howard and his family are still so laid back and cool. Ron, he was never into drugs and alcohol and all that kind of shit. He was just never a party guy. He's just a director. He's just a child actor turned director, and he's never let that Hollywood lifestyle change that Howard family lifestyle, and that is so cool. So I can't wait to find something else to read, but I don't want this book to end. I want to find something to move on to, biographical, autobiographical, historical, something that gives me some reality. All the years I've invested in fantasy, it's neat to read about these people who've created all that fantasy and find out the reality behind it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know when we're getting out next to go to the mall, but it might be it might be Vegas where I find my next book. I might just go to a bookstore out there. I do like to read a lot of older stuff, but right now I'm really anxious to read new stuff about old stuff. You get what I'm saying? I want to read more about the 70s and 80s, through the eyes of people who were there and did those things, that are so big, such a big part of my life. Movies, music, that kind of stuff. I don't know who it's going to be. I was kind of hoping that I could get done with this and find another book by somebody of the same. Maybe I'll try to find a Michael McKean book. Did Michael McKean write a book
right? Because that would be neat to hear his side of Laverne and Shirley and Spinal Tap and Lenny and the Squigtones and all that. That would be fantastic. As it is, I'm probably going to thumb back through some of this book and pick out some of those movies that they talk about in the book and try to find some of them and kind of fill in some of the color. Yeah. Good stuff. It's a good read. If you get a chance, anybody out there watching, listening, The Boys by Ron Howard and Clint Howard. It is a great book. It's a great read. I've really taken my time to read it, and read it slow and deliberately and diligently, and lots of time, lots of pauses to absorb the stuff that I've read. We just finished with his first directorial debut movie, Grand Theft Auto, for Roger Corman. And the last words that I read were, "I never worked for Roger again." And I was like, if you take that out of context, it's like, wow, But that's one of the things that Roger Corman told Ron. Look, if you do this right, you'll be able to make all kinds of great movies from here on out, and most importantly, you'll never have to work for me again. And saying that politely, as like, do this right, this one movie right, and you'll make it, just like the other guys, just like the other, guys that worked for Roger Corman, So many directors started with him. Yeah, it was great. So I'm getting close to finishing this book, and I don't want to. So I got to come up with something right away, so that I don't lose my momentum. Like when I finished Up From Slavery, right? It's like I took a break from that, and I didn't read for a while. And I don't need any more breaks. I need to go from one book to another, to another, to another. Be reading one here, and then be listening to one here when I'm doing that stuff. And then watching an old movie that I've never seen before, Yeah. I feel like I'm on a time schedule, like I'm on a ticker, And there's only so much time to do all of the little things that I gotta do, right? So these days when I can barely muster up the energy to be here, and then I'm back in bed, and then I'm up, and I do some video stuff, and then I'm back in bed and read, and I'm back in bed. It's like, man, I don't have time to be this fucking slow. It's like I got shit to do. It's like I'm 56 years old, hoping that I see 57, knowing I probably won't see 60, and I just got to get the fucking ball rolling, I got a lot of shit that I want to do. It's not a lot of shit that I want to experience, right? That's a little bit of it, but it's mainly the things that I want to get done, I want to curate myself before I'm gone. I want to make sure that I get as much of myself shared with the world as possible, so that I'm gone, but I'm still here in a fashion, right? That's my hope, is that, I know I'm going to be gone, but still around enough so that I'm not forgotten, I guess. What are you going to do? Not much. What are you going to do? Not much. What do you do? Totally, man. Oh, that's a good hit. This shit's killing him. What's he doing? Same shit that's killing me is the only shit that lets me live. Ain't that a crux?
this notebook that's got one of the gang photos on it. Right? We did a bunch of these photos growing up where somebody would show up at a house where a bunch of us are and say, oh, wait a second, I got a camera. And then, run and grab a camera and snap a shot. And there's a bunch of those. There's a bunch of those photos. I think the last one we did like that was like 2000 at Disneyland. And there was like 5 or 6 of us together, like for the last time. And we've never been together since. And we probably won't be. We're all still around barely, and yeah, it's just not in the cards that we're all going to get together again. It would be nice if it happened in August. That's if I make it. But yeah, I'm in a lot of those group photos. I remember this group photo. I remember this one. This was outside James Griffer's house. Yeah. We're all there. So there are these stories that I've been writing about back in the day, right? And when I first started writing these stories, I thought, okay, well, I need some graphics to kind of give people an idea of who these people are. So there's main characters in my story. So everybody's kind of a main character in the story. So I wanted something to show people, kind of give an idea of who these characters were, and kind of give us a sample of what kind of people they are. So I had my daughter draw up some of these things. Here's one. This is Kelly. All right, she's one of the girls in the story. All right, here's Kelly again. Kelly was a friend from high school. We used to hang out together during PE because neither one of us played PE. This is a girl who passed away. She was murdered back in the day. So she's part of the story. In my story, she had dreamt of being a dancer. So I had my daughter draw this shot here. And then this is my best friend at the time, Andy, and now Andrew. And so I had her draw this shot with a few different facial expressions. So I've got this story that I'd like to do and get finished before I'm gone as well. And that's just a matter of blocking out a big chunk of time and tying myself to the keyboard and just writing. I can bang out 100,000 words in a week, right? Easy peasy. Just and I can make it an actual story. I got much of the story figured out. I'm writing it like it's a TV show, so I've got it in episodes rather than chapters, right? I've got a chapter and or is an episode which has little parts inside of it, scenes, right? And then I go to the next chapter, episode, and I've got a lot of it mapped out. I've got a lot of it in my head. I think I've got upwards of 100,000 words written already, as far as the first few drafts of it. The last time I worked on it, I was working on a final draft, and shit came up, and I just switched gears and went into something else, as I usually do. But at some point, when I get the chance, probably when I'm bedridden or something, I will just be sitting and writing until I get this son of a bitch written and done. And then hopefully get it printed, published or something, or pass it off onto someone else if I can't do it, and pass it off onto someone else who can take it, change the names to protect the innocent or whatever, and spruce it up and then print it and have it be a collaborative thing between me and a couple of people from the past, right? That would be fantastic. Written by, the people who lived it, pretty much. That's what I want. Let me warm up my coffee and then we'll wrestle It ain't no hassle. Totally. Am I gone? No way. Am I gone? No friggin' way. Okay. Yep. Things are getting tight. Things are getting tight. Gotta tighten up that pucker. Yeah, I wish I could get my brother to come out and stay for a few weeks, a month or something, you know. Just come out, hang out, have some time to just sit and bullshit, get to know each other again. Go through a bunch of these records and have him pick out a bunch of records, go through all of my old crap and just have him help me go through everything so I can send him home with a bunch of it, because I've got so much stuff and so much of it needs to be shared. You know, I need to curate little packages and put them in boxes. Okay, this is ready to be given away, and then come the reunion, have a whole bunch of stuff to set up on the stage, right? And a clipboard on each item. If you want to be a part of this drawing, sign up. Sign up and get a ticket, and you're a part of this drawing over here. You can draw. You can enter like 3 drawings, and we'll have like a couple of dozen drawings to enter. You know, stuff simple. You know, simple stuff. You know, a poster. All the way up to a stereo with 8 tracks and records and cassettes, you know, the whole package. So we'll have big first prize stuff and we'll have smaller stuff. It just depends on what you want, you know, and how many people are entering what drawings and what are your odds. Yeah, so I need to curate those packages. I also need to go through family stuff, like old family stuff, and deal with that, you know, which would be perfect for my brother to be here for, you know, a bunch of that kind of old, you know, and to help me transfer all of these tapes to digital, you know, transfer a lot of audio, you know, make him a bunch of reel-to-reels so he can take them and experience them the way they were supposed to be experienced, you know, get him a reel-to-reel set up. And there's just so much I need to deal with, and most days I'm just like blah, you know. Having somebody around is a big boost, you know, it gives me energy and focus, because a lot of times when I'm alone I just kind of flounder. I get through with this and then I just kind of flounder. I just like, well, I'm going to fiddle with videos, or I'm going to play a game, or I'm just going to read, or I'm going to go outside. I just kind of, you know, it's nice to have somebody around who I can, you know, who I can play with. I need somebody, I need a play date, buddy. Whoa. Power hitter. Yeah. Anyways, orale. So last night I sat here watching TV with my wife, and afterwards I just kind of got into searching for Halloween stuff, Halloween related stuff. So I would, you know, search for things with spooky stuff or Halloween stuff, and then I went Halloween through you know, like 2 decades, 70s and 80s Halloween with,
You know, a lot of stuff I got was like Halloween the movie, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, trailers, that kind of stuff for Halloween. But I found some cool old vintage Halloween crap. And a few retro things. So now I'm just going to keep going back and forth, you know. Then I'll look for horror and spooky and scary and, you know, boo, and, you know, and look for things related to those words. Let's see what I come up with. And so this next week starts the first week of October. So I will be introducing a couple of October elements into next week. The week of Halloween, I may actually do a special program guide. I might actually do a special program guide for October period. Do an October, something with Halloween, you know, boo, some sound effects, some lightning flashes, maybe a different, usually I do my stuff spray painted on a block wall, right, and show you my day cards on a block wall. Maybe I'll do it on something scary, you know, put something scary in the backdrop, which will probably lead to, you know, something fall for November, or something Christmassy for December, some kind of New Year stuff for January, get into hearts and Valentine's stuff for February. March, we got what, St. Patrick's Day. April, we can do like April Fool's Day, Easter Parade type stuff. May, I like a maypole, you know, so I'll probably find something, get into themed stuff for every month, because I'm not really a holiday person. But lately I've been kind of hearkening back to those days when you'd go over to somebody's house for you know, for just about anything during the holidays, and their houses are like just crazy with decorations. It's like, yeah, Mom pulled all the stuff out again, you know, and the little dioramas, is that what there are? The little scenes and the little villages and the train sets and all the cotton for snow and all that. I mean, it was crazy. Some people would just be nuts about Christmas. And I used to love it, but we never did anything for Christmas. We never. I mean, my father would sometimes get a tree and create little wall ornaments and hang up stuff around the tree. You know, and that was about as far as it got, you know. And then sometimes there was Christmas presents. Sometimes it was, here, kid, here's a few bucks. So it wasn't, we didn't really get real too Christmassy, you know. So of course, when my daughter was young, yeah, we went Christmas crazy, you know. We would get a tree. We still do. We get a tree. We always, now of course, we use one of those synthetic tree deals, and just set the same tree up every year. Pull out the same decorations. You know, add, subtract depending on what we're feeling like, and we'll just pop it into a corner somewhere for a month. And it feels good. When I started this show, I think the second week of my first season, there was a tree in the picture for a week, you know, a week or two. But it was like, okay, from like Christmas, I moved the tree into the room here next to me and had it just off camera, so you could just see the side of the Christmas tree. You could feel the lights, you know, and it was like that was it. That was as close as I got to having a Christmas themed show. But this year, I think I'm going to start with Halloween, and I think I'm going to add some thematic stuff to the program guide, to the openings and closings of my shows. You know, just something. You know, maybe at the beginning of the morning show, I'll add a few Christmassy icons and do a jingle bell. You know, ching, 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 ching. And the same thing in Halloween, have a little jack-o'-lantern, you know, there. Maybe I'll take some vintage stuff and insert it into the openings and closings of some of the shows as part of those shows elements, and then just swap those elements out for every month and the different holidays. Yeah. I probably put more into my openings and closings and the in-between stuff than I do to my actual shows, because my actual shows are usually just, me just sitting here hanging out, being a bum. You're a bum. You'll always be a bum. So what are you going to do about it, bum? Eh? Yeah, nothing. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought pretty tat. Yeah, I'm probably going to Minecraft this morning. I feel it already. I feel like farming. I feel like farming, yeah. But I'll probably wait until my wife takes off. So that way when she wakes up, we can have that morning moment before she's gone. You know, I don't think she's going to leave too early. So I'll probably get done here just about the time she's getting up. And we can sit here and have a little coffee and talk and do all of that. And then I'll try to come up with some kind of plan of attack for today. Yeah, like I said, I've been out of sorts lately, so it's kind of hard to, it's just hard to get rolling, you know? It's just hard to get rolling. It'd be different if I had somebody like nearby who was, you know, like really close and like personally really close, and we could hang out together, and I could, you know, have that person come over and we could sit and go through things, you know, and I could share things with that person, and we could, you know, and there's just no one around who really shares my interests, you know, to my extreme, and there's nobody around who kind of comes from the same kind of shit that I do. So it's kind of a tall order, you know, really, to find somebody of my caliber who just wants to hang out and do nothing, you know, and also do stuff, you know. So yeah, most days I just sit here and do nothing. That needs to warm up. So it is Throwback Thursday. Let me know if you want to do some arts and crafts.
Olive oil. Will blow me down.
So, anybody out there wanna check out my new music video, my new song? Let me know and I'll play it for you. Not on the guitar, but I'll actually play you the music video on the screen. Let me know if you'd like to check it out. I don't want to push anybody into anything. I'm not just gonna say, "Oh, look, you're here. I'm gonna play it for you." But you know, if you'd like to check it out, let me know, and I'll pull it up and pop it on for you. But I haven't premiered it yet. It hasn't gone public yet. I haven't watched it since I finished it and showed my daughter. I don't want to get, you know, like burned out on it. I'm already thinking of ways to recreate the video anew. So it'll probably take on a few different incarnations. And then I'll, of course, once I get past the, you know, dental procedures and crap that I got to deal with, which will be months, then eventually I'll be able to get back into the singing and playing and stuff and be able to, you know, actually produce some more music, right? But right now I've just been kind of
out of it. Of course, what a normal person probably would have done would have been to double down and try to record as much as possible before, you know, but it's like, what's the point? Everything is going to change, so why record a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to be able to sing the same? So it's like, all right, well, let's wait and we'll relearn this stuff anew with a new mouth and see how that goes, you know. So yeah, it's like every time I mention that video, everybody runs. It's like, shh, come on, let's leave. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There we go. So, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You'll have no choice. Oh, yeah. What am I going to read next? It's like I want to read one of these Wounded Knee books, but they're so historic. They're just like matter-of-fact days and times and people and stuff. There's one that I was reading. Which one was it? Was it one of these I was reading? Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. Yeah, okay, so this is the one that I started reading and got sad and depressed and had to put it down. Yeah, and this is the same book. It's adapted from that same book, only it's an easier read. It's for kids, it's for youths. So, oh, here's the one I was reading. And this has got, half of the book is Wounded Knee 1 and the aftermath, and the other half is Wounded Knee 2 and the precursors to that and the aftermath. So, I think I got to the after part of Wounded Knee in this one here. I didn't read the first part because, like I said, it's heavily depressing. It's like watching those village raid scenes in Little Big Man. You know, it's just too much. It's just too much because that shit's real. It really happened. You know, and for nothing more than greed and ignorance and power and racism, you know, and it was just a, you know, that it's just a horrible thing to think back if you think through the reality of what our country was founded on and how our country was built. It's disgraceful, you know, because it was built on murder and greed and genocide and rape and pillaging and, you know, marginalizing a people, you know, for our own benefit. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. So, yeah. The whole Native American thing just pisses me the hell off right from the get-go, you know. Right from the get-go. And having known about the plight of the Native American as early as, you know, 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and to have been a party to, in a small part, to the happenings at Wounded Knee 2, you know, that's heavy, you know, and it's always going to be a part of who I am, knowing full well, you know, and never forgetting what the Native Americans in this country have gone through, you know, and are still going through. So, yeah, heavy stuff. And because I'm an American, and because these, you know, these people and these things are important, and they should be important to all of us, you know, that becomes part of my curriculum reading, you know, up from slavery and reading about slavery and Native American culture and the history behind it. You know. It's just you know, it should be a part of everyone, really, you know. And it's not. That's unfortunate. We all need to pay closer attention to not only our individual heritage, but the heritage of those around us, and especially the peoples that have been here since before, you know, the boats landed on the shores, you know. It's like when you buy hundreds of acres and you go in and you bulldoze it all so you can build homes. What happens to all of the animals that were there before? You know, you never think about those when you move in. They're just all displaced. You know, I remember a song from the 90s that a friend wrote when he was with a band called Loudmouth, I believe. Not the Loudmouth Loud, but a band called Loudmouth. And they had a song called Big Steel Machines. And it was about that. It was about track homes popping up and all of the animals being displaced. It was kind of a Watership Down type song. It was great. I wish I could find a copy of that. I wish that I could, you know, at some point get together with that individual and maybe he has a copy of it. You would think that he would have a copy of his own music stashed away somewhere. But that would be great to get a hold of, right? You would think that you could go to his YouTube page and find some of that music. But no such luck, because I've been there. I've searched for the song titles, the music, everything that I could possibly think of, and haven't been able to find anything from that particular album. So that's a bummer. I'm sure somebody out there, possibly he has a copy of it, but somebody out there is going to have a copy of it. Copy, bo boppy, banana, fana, fo foppy, me, my, mo moppy, copy. Let's do sloppy. No, that's the same as sloppy boppy. So yeah, no, I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna do it. Don't even start. So I don't know. I'll probably just finish this off because it's just, you know, a couple of more chapters to go about the aftermath. God, it's not much. Most of this is appendices. So, you know, finish this one off. I've got this Wounded Knee 1973, a personal account by Stanley David Lyman, who was like a secretary or something during on the reservation during the whole thing. So he kept a diary, a day-to-day or every other day diary of what was going on. So that's kind of neat. And then there's Lakota Woman. Lakota Woman is a fictional story about the true happenings at Wounded Knee, and I found this at and this is a real, you know, powerful autobiography. Okay, so it is an autobiography. The movie is more of a fictional autobiography, a fictionalized version of this, but I haven't been able to get the movie yet. So I found this at Barnes and Noble, and picked it up. So this should be a fun read. Yeah, and it's written by Mary Crow Dog, the Lakota Woman, with help from someone. But Oliver Stone says, a piercing look into the ancient yet modern mind of a Sioux woman. Right? Great. So Oliver Stone dug it. So I've seen the movie once or twice, but that was a long time ago. So this autobiography, this is probably going to be my next read when I'm done with this guy here. And I've only got a little bit left here. That's it. That's all I've got left. So, and it's got appendices, index 376, and I'm at 349. So there's that. So yeah, this is probably going to be my next read. That's cool. And I'm going to continue listening to this State of Fear by Michael Crichton. That's my entertainment. It's kind of like a fictional story of factual events, kind of, right? Where they use a lot of hard data. He really, really gets into
using reality, and then he just takes reality just a little bit further, you know. So you're like, whoa, is that what's going to happen? So that's kind of what this book is. This is a look at our reality now, taken to the next level. What's going to happen, or what could be the reasons for some of these things. You know, are there really these dark, covert forces at work in our world government, doing things to the planet and to us for their own gain, right? I never know. I don't know what to say. I'm going to reboot my comments here because it's been quiet. It's been quiet. Yeah. It would be great if I could get some company, get my brother out here. Because I need that drive, I need that motivation, I need that, I need some help. Actually, I need someone to sit with me and go through just a ton of shit and get it dealt with, get it organized, pull shit out, say, okay, this is what I need to fix this, let me order this and get this fixed so that I can put it away and, say, okay, look, this is exactly what it is and it works perfectly, let's box it up, put a price on it, box it up, set aside. And then a lot of these things are going to go to, the party for the drawing thing, and a lot of the stuff is just going to get sold when I'm gone. See, there's Joe. He's still there. Yeah, it gets quiet and I get lonely, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd everybody go? No, not really. I'm used to talking to myself. It's funny because everything's really, really quiet for the first hour I'm sitting in here because I get up at like 4. So I'm sitting in here and it's really quiet and I'm not saying a word. And then as soon as that do-wacka-do comes on, boy, I just start bopping around, and by the time I flip that mic on, I'm just ready to not shut up. I don't know what it is. It must be the showbiz in me. I should have my own show, is what it should be. I should have my own show somehow. What kind of a show? I don't know. Isn't that what you do, you doof? I've just been screwing around for the last 8 months. I don't know what I'm doing. This ain't a show. This is me screwing around for the last 8 months. 100 episodes this year, 30 back there, 30 over there. Come on. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun. The shows that are once a week, I kind of know what I'm doing. Minecraft? No. I don't know what I'm doing with Minecraft. I'm just having fun. That's it. Just playing video games. Playing Minecraft. That's it. Friday nights, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm just sharing my favorite old-timey music and weird video time machine stuff. And that's it. I'll know exactly what's going on when I do that Elsinore Brothers and Sisters live, because that serves an actual purpose. Those damn shirts, the donations, the reunion party. I keep going over the numbers in my head, right? And I'm like, you know what? This is going to work. We can keep the shirt prices really low, and we can make this work. So I'm real excited about this. In fact, I got to get out today and talk to the shirt people. Yeah, see, this is going to work out perfect. for every, if I sell the shirts at $25, right? Every 100 shirts after they're paid for is going to get me about $1,500 in donation money for every 100 shirts. So if I sell 10 styles of shirts at 100 shirts each, that's a pretty good chunk of change, right? I don't expect to sell that many shirts. That would be like, what, $20,000 or something? That would be ridiculous. I don't expect to sell even close to that much. I just hope that we get to enough money to pay for a really good event. That's it. That's all I'm hoping for. And I'll know right away once those shirts get out there, and the new shirts and the new shirts and the new shirts, because I'm going to do like 10 to 12 different kinds of shirts at least. And just keep rolling them out. Okay, here's a new shirt. Who wants these? You know, I'll have shirts to give away. So every week I'll do a show, and I'll be like, okay, who wants a shirt? I'm giving away a shirt. Answer this question right now, you get a shirt. Right? And then have that shirt printed and mailed. Once the 100 shirts are paid for, everything after that rest of the 100 shirts sold is going to be donation, right? So for the $25, you're going to have to pay your own shipping and handling, and I'll have that figured out to the penny, how much shipping and handling is. So that's not going to be a big deal. A few bucks, no more than $5 or $6 for shipping and handling. Should be way less than that. Should be about $3. But I'll probably send it medium mail, which is about $3 or $4 now, unless it's cheaper just to stick it in a bag and send it regular mail. You know, so I'll get into the logistics of that. But I'll do a shirt giveaway every week to bring people in and to show people who's got shirts. Okay, who's got their shirts? All right, show me a picture of you wearing your shirt. All right, we got a live phone call coming in from so-and-so. Look, he's wearing his shirt. And update the event planning. Have people on who are going to facilitate different parts of this. I really want to do this at a vacation rental on the beach. So at some point it's going to be real important to get with somebody about that and try to get that, especially if the money's starting to look really good. If the money's looking really good, then one of those places that's costing like $2,500 a night, right, to rent, you know, like multi-bedrooms and the whole beach and all of that stuff and bathrooms up the ass. So if it winds up being something like that, then fucking A. Why not? And I want it to be high class enough that everybody wants to come. You know, everybody. Those people are like, oh, I don't think so. I want them to go, oh man, I'm going. Right? That's, you know, who's throwing it? You are. Show up. Invite the people you want to see. That's pretty much it. It's got to go down that way, you know. People have to know that this is for them. And it's only going to be as fun as they want it to be, as fun as they make it. And that's just a matter of doing some donating and inviting people. That's it. You donate a little and invite a lot. That's all you got to do. That's all anyone has to do. Donate a little, invite a lot. That's a good saying, right? That's a good slogan. Yep. Donate a little, invite a lot. I mean, $25, right? A $25 donation gets you a t-shirt. You know, donate 100 and ask for one t-shirt, right? I'll throw in a t-shirt. Donate as much as you can donate, you know, because you're going to go on a special list. you know, free top entry to any one of these drawings that you get, you know, whatever. There's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of merchandise. Gosh, every time I talk about this, I get so worked up, and then I feel like I'm spinning my wheels because it's so far away, and there's not really a whole lot that I can do other than plan and try like hell to raise money and try like hell to get people interested enough to say the yes that I want to go. That's it. So this morning I am going to be creating an email or a text to send to a bunch of people, and it'll be a blanket text that I will personalize individually as I send it. And I will try to hit up about 6 or 7 people this morning and say, look, I've got t-shirts coming, you know, and I need to get people wearing the shirts and sending me photos and videos of them wearing the shirts. Will you please donate and get a couple of shirts, you know, send me $50 and I'll take care of shipping and handling, and I'll send you 2 shirts, and when other shirts come in, you can have your pick of any of the other shirts, right? And I'll send you an extra shirt for free. So I think I'm gonna do that, and I will be hitting up people who I think are like somewhat influential from the old days, people that still, you know, garner some form of respect among us. So yeah, a couple of families, a couple of, you know, names. If you're watching, you just might be one of them. So that'll be fun. Like I said, I'm going to send off those texts today so that I can get word from those people and get them the information. Look, give me a shirt size and send me some money. I can't do this on my own. And I'm not asking for outright free money. You're getting something in return. You're getting a vintage style retro t-shirt for the price that you would normally pay for a vintage style retro t-shirt, $25, right? Plus shipping and handling. That's it. And the money goes to pay for that run of shirts, and then after that run of shirts is paid for, it goes straight into the kitty, and it gets saved up, so that at some point we're looking, you know, at a pretty good chunk of change, and we'll know exactly where we're headed as far as the party. And if I can come up with a new shirt every couple of weeks for months, I think we'll have a really good chance at making this happen. And for the first 6 months of shirts, we're strictly going to be doing it through the mail. We're going to do old school, you know, cash, check, or money order, P.O. box, the size, the color, the style, how many, that's it. That's what we're looking for. It's going to all be old school. I can take that and I can cash them, pay for the shirts, and then start just stocking money away somewhere. You know, I got to keep it off the books so that financially I don't take a hit, because this is not income and it's not spending. It's neither. It's like neutral. I like it. It's not my money. It's not a business. It's not a job. It's none of this. You know, it's the money goes through me, but I own none of this money, right? So I need to, you know, just get shit paid for ahead of time. It's like, okay, we got enough money to pay for this. Bang. You know,
put a rubber band around this money and a note in there that says this money is for that, this money is for that, this money is for that, and that's it. And then that's it, baby. Just keep racking up the cash until we get enough to make this the best deal ever, you know. And I'm not talking a little party in the park for a couple of hours, you know. I'm not talking about a big cruise for a week, you know. I'm talking about a weekend on the lake, which is where it should be, with family and friends, which is what it should be, and everything that the lake and the town has to offer, which is exactly what it should be, you know. Tours and boating and biking and fun and hiking and music and barbecuing and swimming and fishing and all of it, you know. It's like if we do it at West Marina, that's all right there, you know. If we do it on the beach at a vacation rental, what do we got to do? Rent a couple of things to finish it off? That's it, you know. Make sure that people who live in the area who have boats show up with their boats. We got fishermen that live in the area. They're going to show up with plenty of extra fishing stuff, you know, just like that, you know. Gosh. We'll figure out how to get people motorcycle rentals, bicycle rentals, boat rentals, jet ski rentals, all of that stuff. We'll have it all worked out ahead of time, you know. People can have a trailer or motorhome delivered to the property, whether it's the campground or a vacation rental, and have it set up ahead of time, so when they show up from the airport in their rental car, their trailer's set up, you know. Donate extra, you know, after the fact, before the event, after the fundraising, before the event, and guarantee yourself a room in the vacation rental. It's like, okay, there's 6 rooms. So, you know, you want to pay for a room in the vacation rental? Great, do that. You know, fill the house full of people. I'll sleep in a fucking tent. You know, let everybody else pay for the house. We just need a place to cook and a place to have bathrooms and a place to have electricity for the music and all lighting and all that stuff. So it's not so important for me to sleep in a place. You know, of course, unless I'm one of the infirmed, because that's mainly what we need a house for, or if we have the campground, what we need an RV for, you know, mothers with babies and little children to go to the bathroom, and older people to sit and relax out of the elements, and, you know, sick people to, you know, chill out, you know, because we're all, you know, varying ages and healthnicities. Healthnicities. I just made that up. Yeah, I'm going to heat this coffee up because I hate cold coffee. Yeah, so even if I, you know, heaven forbid, I were to pass away before this event, I want to make sure that this event still goes off without a hitch. I want to make sure that at some point down the road here before the event, all this information is shared with 2 or 3 other people, right? So that no matter what, this thing happens, right? It's like, look, here's all of the numbers, the connections, the contacts, the prices, the schedules, the planning, all of it. Here it all is, you know. And send a bunch of people, you know, and then put somebody in charge. Look, if something happens to me, all of this money goes to this person over here, you know. And then they are in contact with the T-shirt people now. Now stuff gets shipped directly from the T-shirt people to people. And we can set this all up ahead of time.
Because you never know, you know. Expect the best, plan for the worst. I think that's how it goes. Yeah. But, yeah, I plan on doing my best to be there. You know. A house would be great, because I could take an entire bedroom and turn it into the drawing room and just decorate it like a 1970s, 80s kids room with all of the stuff in there, and then you can go in there and enter drawings to win just about anything in that room, right? That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, I've got so many different things. It's just crazy. I mean, the person who wins a stereo and boxes of 8 tracks are gonna just be crazy, you know. Someone might win a reel-to-reel with actual reels, brand new, unopened, recordable reels, you know, music. Yeah. Video cameras, camcorders, right? With actual tapes, brand new tapes. There's so much that I've been kind of saving and holding on to and you know, conspiring with to kind of create something. And I don't do anything fast. So I've really been there's Mom. I've really been biding my time to decide what to do with a lot of this shit, you know. And I think ultimately a lot of this stuff is going to get given away, you know, at the actual event. And that might actually become a part of future events, is a drawing on the last night, you know, which will get everyone to be there as long as possible, because you have to enter the drawing, which means you got to get there, you know, and get a ticket to enter the drawing. You know, 1 ticket per drawing, 3 drawings per person, you know, and there'll be like 24 drawings, you know, and then you got to be around for the drawing, you know, and take that shit home with you. Gosh, that's going to be fun. Putting together the digital projector material, the stuff that's going to be blasting out on the digital projector all day and all night. That's going to be fun, because I'm just going to compile files, thumb drives, just filled with movies, right? All of these movies that we watch on my channel, and all of these that we don't, they're all just going to go into a thumb drive, and I'm just going to stick it in and hit play, and it's just going to cycle through movie after movie after show after this after that, and it'll be playing somewhere during the event, right? I'll put together memorial videos, where are they now videos, you know, whatever I can come up with, if I'm, you know, able to. What the hell is that? What the hell was that? I don't know. I dropped a few frames early on this morning during my pre-show. All of a sudden it just went dead and nothing was going out for a few seconds. And then my program restarted. It stopped the feed and restarted it before it canceled out on YouTube, which was pretty cool. Which that helps, because I mean, if it had just froze up, and then I'd have to start all over again and start a new feed, and that's kind of a bummer. So I like the fact that it takes care of itself. My wife went out yesterday to take my daughter to class because her friend's car was acting up. So they didn't have to go, she didn't have to go out and spend the whole day, but Mom had to drive her down there and then wait around and bring her home. So Mom doesn't mind that too much because there's thrift shops and stores and stuff. And so Mom came home with a bunch of great pants that she got at the thrift shop. I mean, she just, man, she looks good in stuff that she, she can find that's just perfect for her. Awesome. So she brought home some really cool Gucci pants, and I'm like, wow, those are neat, perfect her size. And then she's on the way home. She calls, okay, what do you need from the store? So she says we're talking for a little while because we're both bored. So we're like, like when we were dating, and we're like on the phone talking. And she's like, I got you a regalo, right? She got me a present. And so I'm like, okay, well, don't tell me. So she gets home and she hands it to me, and it's a big Sony DVD player, right? I'm like, wow, you got a remote? And she said, of course not. And I'm like, oh, bummer. But then I look at the front of this thing, and it's got all the buttons on the front. It doesn't just have like a power button and an eject button. It's got all of these direction buttons and menu and display and all of these different. So it's like, okay, I might have a Sony remote somewhere that would work for that, but hey, it's got all the buttons on it. I'm hoping that it works, right? Because I've got a VCR here, and the DVD player now, I can watch anything, I can watch anything. And I'm starting to burn some of my stuff onto DVD, so now I can test them. Take it out here, stick it in over there, hit play. Hey, check it out. As soon as I get that rocking and rolling, then I know that I'll be able to just burn a shitload of DVDs and send them to my brother and just say, dude, all you got to do is put it in the DVD player, man. So that's cool. Because he's up in the mountains, so he don't get real good internet, and he don't get real good, I think they have to use satellite to get a signal to get any entertainment, right? So they're somewhat limited. He doesn't watch a whole lot of YouTube and stuff because of his phone and whatnot. So it'll be neat if I can send him some more stuff to check out. Like I sent him a VCR, 2 VCRs, a rewinder, and a stack of tapes to watch. So I need to send him another stack of tapes, which means I need to go through my hundreds and hundreds of videotapes and pick out some. And I need to send him a stack of DVDs of some bunch of this stuff burned onto DVD. And God, if I could just get him down here, I could send him home with so much fun stuff. So much fun stuff. Because I got a ton of it. And a lot of it, rightfully so, should go to him, A lot of it has to do with our past. A lot of it's not from our past, but it has to do with our past. There's a few things that are actually from our past that he needs to have. But for the most part, everything else is just a collection of things from our past, but they're not the exact items, right? They're things that I've had to collect to build that history back up again. So I'd like to share some of that history. Oh, yeah. What is it? Just about 7 o'clock. Mom, I don't know if she's going to wake up early today. I don't think her friend wakes up early, so it's not like she needs to run out of the house. She wanted to know if I wanted to go to Home Depot to put the price list together. Yes and no. I mean, I don't want to go and then have to go all the way and spend the day out while she's out. Maybe when she gets done, I've got to go out to the t-shirt place, and I'll probably do my Home Depot run then and go in and take some photos and do some pricing and try to come up with the best wood that I can for the job. I think we're going to use fence boards, because the fence boards, I can get them at about the right height. They're pre-stained, but I'll have to sand them and re-stain them, or sand them out and give them a rustic look and then see what she says. But I'm going to have to sand them because they're pretty rough and splintery, and then seal them up so they don't warp, right? So they'll have to be sanded, and they'll have to be cut and sanded and sealed, and then assembled, and then sealed again, so that everything is nice and, you know, because once the humidity from a swamp cooler or something hits those boards, they're just going to start going all wonky, you know. So if we sand it, stain it, seal it, assemble it, you know, and keep it nice and sealed up, the board should be a lot, what you call it, yeah, that's it. That's the word. Jeez, take another hit, pothead. You got it, boss. Yeah. So I'm going to put together a bunch of movies to send to my brother, because he's got a granddaughter that is with them all the time. And I'm thinking, oh, she would love to watch some of these movies, you know. I mean, yeah, that's going to be great. I mean, I've already sent him, I sent my one friend, Andy, from back in the day. He's got young kids now. And a couple of years back, his both kids were dressing up as Pippi Longstocking, right? And I'm like, they know who Pippi is. They go, well, yeah, well, the new Adventures of Pippi and that new movie and stuff. I'm like, okay. So I sent them on DVD. I burned like all of the old Pippi Longstocking movies. I found them from the library, and I burned them on my computer and sent them all to him. I wish I had made 2 copies, because I really want to watch them now. And I didn't have a chance to watch them. I was like, I burned them, held on to them, and then I found out that his kids had interest, and I'm like, take them, you know. So that's pretty cool. So I need to send some stuff like that to my brother for his granddaughter, my niece, because that's going to be cool. My grandniece, is that what they're called? I don't fucking know. Jeez, what am I? A thesaurus, an encyclopedia? Yeah. So totally cool, you know. Because I've been on both computers. I've been piling up, you know, as much as I can find as far as movies go. And I've been popping them. I've been popping them on my little file here, and then I'll and it's cool because I can watch them here on my computer, pipe them into my TV here in front of me, and then through my stereo, so I get a better boom out of it. You know, that's pretty cool. So I've got a file here, movies from our childhood, and this is going to be fun. I'm going to be able to send all of these to my brother, burn them onto DVD, and then he can just, hopefully it'll work that way. You know, I need to find, well, some of these I've already sent him. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, Over the Edge, right? I've already sent those to him. So now I'm going to have to send some stuff for him, like the Doberman Gang, right? He keeps talking about the Doberman Gang. So I found the Doberman Gang, so I'm going to have to burn that one and send it to him. I just watched it. It's really good. Old school. Doesn't really have any heavy actors in it. But the dogs are good. Yeah. movie Foxes from 1980. You know, yeah, that's great. Jodie Fox is in that. Oh, what's her face? From the Runaways, Curry. What the fuck is her name? I can't remember her name. Lead singer from the Runaways. Yeah. Pete's Dragon, Disney movie. Puff the Magic Dragon. Ricky Tikki Tavi. Oh yeah, that one's a great one. Puff the Magic Dragon. Ricky Tikki Tavi, I think his granddaughter's going to like that one. Candle Shoe. That's a great one. I think she'll like that one too. The Girlfriend from Hell. She'll probably love that one, the little monster. Breaking Away. I know Robert will like that. Little Shop of Horrors, the original one. Yeah. Great, cool stuff. Cool stuff. Documentaries. Great. Right on. Totally, man. Oh, just organizing. And I've got like hundreds of educational films stacked up in files and files and files. Stuff that I've uploaded, stuff that I haven't uploaded, stuff that I'll never be able to upload. Movies that I downloaded and then tried to upload onto YouTube and then got denied. So I just filed them away. I don't delete stuff. I'm not one for deleting. Unless I burn it onto another file somewhere, I usually won't delete anything. I'll just let it stack up. I'm running out of memory. I don't delete. I mean, it's like, it's crazy. Yep. All right. I got to heat up this coffee one more time. One more time. Morning nose. Am I going no way? Yeah. This show is just a running log of my pathetic little attempt at life on planet Earth. You know, when they dropped me off here on this planet and said that I was to observe, I didn't mean that. I didn't realize I'd have to participate, and that's where I went. Everything went horribly wrong, right? Because I've never been able to figure out how to get along on this planet. I think this is probably my best attempt ever, you know, even though I've done a lot of stuff to try to get along. I think this is probably my best effort here. Boy, my stomach is it's talking to me. That just means that I'll have to figure out what to eat later in about an hour.
I don't know. Last night I made barbecued chicken for dinner, and then my wife brought home beans and potato salad to go with it. Yummy. Somebody's awake. I hear a dog. Hi, Olive Nerd, little nerdy guy. Why, little nerd? Hi, Ollie Popper. Hi, Popper. Hi, little Popper. Scratch that butt. Scratch it. Oh, scratch that butt. Hi, buddy. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Hi. Oh, good morning, little Ollie Popper. Hi. Good little baby. Oh, my little baby buddy. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, my little buddy. Did you sleep well? Did you sleep well, little Oliver? Hmm? 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 Oh, little Oliver, little Oliver. Up comes that foot. He gets that foot up. You start going, little buddy, baby boy, and he starts scratching that ear. It's his nervous twitch, scratching his ear. It's okay, you don't have to scratch your ear. It's okay. Little buddy. All right, if you must. Yeah. He's got a bunch of nervous tics. If you make him mad, he gets this crease over one eye. He gets this little wrinkle line right there over one eye. If he's trying to ignore you, he'll keep one ear up and he'll put one ear back and he'll just kind of look off to the side. When he gets nervous about something, this foot comes up and starts going towards his ear. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. You're okay. You leave your ear alone. I was just trying to prove a point. Silly guy. So hi, how are you, Oliver? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, little boy. We got to get your nails trimmed, huh? Well, I've got to go into town later. So, the only thing I really have to do is run into Home Depot and find those boards that I'm going to use, take some photos of them and the prices, and then come back and kind of put it together and get an estimate for materials. So I could probably just run in and take a couple of photos so that I know, and take my measuring tape and take a few dimensions. That's about it. That's all I need to do. So maybe we can take the dogs out. And then when I go to the t-shirt place, shoot, they can probably just come in with us. But, or stay in the car with my wife in the air conditioner. But yeah, go out and kill a couple of birds with one stone. And then I'll be able to start on that gate, because I'm going to have to come up with all of my measurements ahead of time so that I've got all of the pieces, and then cut everything, sand everything, stain everything in one day, and then assemble it the next day, right? So that everything gets sanded and stained and assembled before it has time to warp, because the wood just decides to warp really quick sometimes. So, and I need to get pieces that I know aren't going to crack at some point. Even though I know, fence boards, you're going to get crackage, you're going to get shrinkage, you're going to get cracks. So if I can accommodate for that a little bit, I'm going to have to button everything up real tight, because at some point these boards are going to shrink.
So I think what I'm going to have to do is create a case to put boards into and allow the boards to be loose so that they have room to shrink and expand. And then at some point when it looks like all we're doing is shrinking, let them shrink down, shove them over, right, and put something in there to take up that extra space. The only thing that I'm concerned about is dog feet, dog pads, dog fingernails, dog claws getting caught in between boards. That's the only thing that I'm concerned with. That and splinters. So I think the sanding and the sealing will help cut down on both splinters and board shrinkage, right? One would hope. And try to find boards that are pretty much dried. I don't want to get anything that's too heavy or too wet because it's really going to shrink. Totally. Well, I got a lap monkey here. I got a little lap monkey. There we go. There's a little face. You can see a little face now. See you in the face now. Hoo, 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 hoo. See you in the face now. That's a little face. There he is. Yeah, Oliver. He's a little guy. He's a little biscuits and gravy guy. He's spoiled. He's the one of the 4 dogs that is super spoiled because he's never known anything but this house. So everybody else has been through hell before they got here. But this little guy, he's just a little spoiled guy. He thinks this is his world. And he's never had a worry. You know, he's been sick once or twice and had pains. But he's never been hungry. He's never had to worry about stuff, you know. Sometimes he's the only one that tries to leave when the gate gets opened up, and he'll run out and he'll run up the street, you know, which we're in a mobile home park, so the street is like a drive. So he'll run up, and then he'll run back down and run by it, and then he'll run up, and then he'll crawl up to you, and that's it. And that's all he can manage because he don't know what to do. He's never been out running around, you know. And he comes when I call him, you know. And if you beat a dog when they get home for running out, they don't want to come home. They're like, fucking, I ain't going home. I'm going to get beat. So they just stay out. You know, dogs know stuff. So anytime he runs out and escapes, I'm talking about him, that line is starting to creep up, then I go, I'm firm and I get him to come back. But as soon as he gets back and he's in my arms, I tell him what a good boy he is. You know, and you have to reassure him that it's okay for him to come back. He's not going to get in trouble. You know, when he chews up things, I don't beat him. You know, I just tell him, hey, these are the rules. Don't break the rules. And then he's good for a while, and then he breaks the rules again. You know, he's trying to ignore what I'm talking about. One ear back, one ear forward. Yeah. He's got the crease over the eye and the one ear back. Probably not too long he'll get up and leave because he'll just be frustrated with me. Why you keep talking? I keep hearing my name and you keep saying stuff that I'm familiar with. Knock it off. Right? I talk to my dogs like they're people. So my daughter trips out when I talk to Sam and I tell him to do something. And he gets up and he does it. She's like, it's like he understands you. And I'm like, he does. You don't get it. You know, he does understand me. You know, I talk to him enough. I speak directly to him and say things to him on a regular basis so he understands. While he's doing something, I'll tell him to do it. And every time he does that thing, I'll tell him to do it. So that when I look at him and I say, do it, he goes over and does it. Because he associates me telling him to do it with him doing it. That's it. It's easy. You know? So he'll be licking me, and he'll lick, and he'll lick, and he'll lick, and he'll be licking one spot on my arm, and I'll say, okay, Go lick someone else for a while. Go lick one of the dogs. And he'll get up and he'll go over and he'll sit next to the dog and lick. My daughter's like, how do you do that? Because we're both smart, you know. I know what I'm doing with dogs, and he knows what he's doing as a dog, you know. Yeah, he's a fun dog. When you get him in a mellow situation and you talk to him and have a back and forth, he's like all in, you know, all listening, all interested in what you're talking about. You show him stuff and he looks at it and licks it and sniffs it and waits for a response and wants some instruction. You know, you tell him to look at the TV and he'll look at the TV, and then he'll watch the TV, and then he'll sit there and you know, look at you and look at the TV, and it's like, what's going on here, man? You know, you don't get a lot of dogs like that. We got 4 dogs, and only one is like that, and this is one dog out of, you know, scores of dogs that I've had throughout my life. Light, sunlight on my shoulder, sunlight on my life. Sunlight on my shoulder. Ooh. Huh? Yeah. But that goes back to when I was a little kid, not having any humans to talk to. So I would just talk to the animals. Whatever dog was around, whatever cat was around, freaking bird, goldfish, whatever. You know, commune. Yeah. How's it going, bud? How's it going, buddy? How's it going, buddy? Little white fish. Little biscuits and gravy. Little whitey. Little pink nose. Little pink toes, pink toes. Yeah. I guess I'll plug that DVD player in and screw around with that today. I think I'm going to eat and work on picking out and uploading the 5 movies, educational movies for next week, and do that. And probably do a little bit of Minecraft this morning, and try to get that set up. And then I think what I'm going to do is, rather than continue with this lost dream scenario, right, I think I am going to run in one direction in the world Frederick. I think I'm going to go back to Frederick, and I think I'm going to run in one direction, like a couple thousand yards, squares, and then find an island and go to that island and probably start the game from there as being lost. And what I'll do is I'll park a bunch of my items somewhere and strip down. Well, I probably shouldn't strip down because I don't want to lose that character and all of that stuff, the points. So I'll probably, strip all of my items down to nothing, or possibly just a couple of little key items, right? You got to have a bed to wake up from, so you're going, where the hell am I, right? So I'll probably start with a bed, and maybe just a bed, and from there have to, collect things and make things and struggle, so that way when I'm building up this little lost place, at some point I can then just shoot down and be connected with the real world again. Maybe when he finds the ability to create a compass, he realizes that he was just like abducted by aliens and dropped off over here, and that's, and that's it. And he just figured out that, oh shit, that Club Med is right over the hill. So we'll probably do something like that. But I'm having fun in this world right now, creating my little hilltop castle. And if I could get my daughter to come and hang out with me for a couple of hours and use her to run around this world and explore it from my little castle, then I'd probably stay and continue with it, and have her stop by once a week and play with me, and then either go live with that or record it or something so that I could then share it. But that would be cool. That would be different. So I'll probably integrate this lost thing with Frederick. Try to tie it together. The only thing is that by going, a couple of thousand yards up the road in some direction somewhere and being lost there, I'm still adding on to that 400 megabyte and greater file that's just getting huge. I mean, I'm playing this little lost world now, and it went to 4.1, now it's down to 2.9, and it's just because I'm only staying in a small area. So it's not really growing too big. There's a lot happening in this small area. A lot of blocks being repurposed, but it's a small area, just a mountaintop, and only out as far as I can see on the horizon. I haven't gone out any further than I can see on the horizon. I haven't even gotten that far. I mean, the furthest I've gone is tunneling through a mountain forever, and then fell, and I fell down into a void that opened up into the outside world. So rather than try to just stack up and climb while guys are shooting at me, because it was crazy down there, I just ran towards daylight and ran out, and then ran back to my spawn point and then up onto my mountain. And it was just easier that way, less scary. I almost died. I fell down. My health went halfway down. It wasn't a big fall, so that was good. And then all the monsters were kind of far away when I fell. And I threw down a torch to light the place up real quick and thought, well, crap, I could stack myself up with these blocks and go up, 12 blocks, or just run. So I just ran, and I got to explore a little bit on the way. But there wasn't, it's not like I saw a village or anything. But this is probably going to be one of those places I can go to and mine gold and redstone and that kind of stuff, because I'm going to need that kind of stuff. Oh, there's the dog. All right. Up. Good boy. Hi, big face. Well, dog swap. It's a dog swap. Yeah, swapping out the dogs. So, one dog in from the outside, one dog into a bedroom from here, one dog out of a bedroom into the other bedroom so he can go outside. Door ajar. So I should get a report back from him on what the situation is. Yeah. I need to get outside and do some stuff outside. I need to try to get outside a couple of times a week. And it just hurts. Most of the time I'm just running from pain. I'm just running from pain, trying to avoid greater pain, knowing I'm going to be in pain. I just don't want as much, so I don't do as much, knowing full well that the more I do, the more pain I'm in, the more pain management. I mean, yesterday, I didn't smoke a lot of weed because I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't do shit, so I spent a lot of time doing research and reading. And I got to where I was reading last night before bed, and I got through reading, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta smoke a bunch of pot so that I can get this pain level down and get sleepy. And so it was like I'm sitting here taking 4 or 5 hits, like, okay, now my head is a little level and the pain is a little subdued, and yeah, I got some decent sleep. I got like 3 hours. It was alright. I'll probably want to nap today. Don't know if I'll have time. The later in the week it gets, the less likely it is that I'll have a chance to nap because things start to build. And, the less sleep I get throughout the week, and the more I do, the less sleep I can get. So, yeah, I'll probably be awake all day and really tired tonight. And then I'll try like hell to go to sleep early, and then I won't. And then tomorrow morning I'll just be like, dragging, I'll be like the dragging my ass. Benito. No más café. So like there's that, okay? Oh my gosh. I need to do like a watch party, right? I need to do like a messenger watch party where people get on Messenger in a group chat, a group video chat, and then I pipe in a movie and put myself down there in the corner, right? And then on occasion other people pop up on the screen to talk about what's going on, right? Or maybe not. Maybe we just put the movie on and we just sit there and watch, and maybe we do, some kind of video chat thing. I don't know how that works, man. I mean, I can't really do it on YouTube because of the copyright shit, but to do a private screening, movie party, watch party, that kind of thing, and do a TV show or a movie or a film or something that people remember from the old days but haven't seen in like forever. That'd be cool. Because a lot of these things I don't get to watch before I upload them. I get to investigate. I get to, peruse through it. I get to look at it for weird content if I'm saving it and processing it and stuff, and in that see something that like, oh no, then I'll just finish saving it and then file it away somewhere unusable. But I mean, I've got a lot of stuff that I can't use on YouTube for various reasons that I would love to share with people. So I might be putting these things onto DVD and tech check, make sure they work, and then put them in the mail and send them to people. Remember these movies? That'd be cool. That'd be way cool. Oh my God, like, no way. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, like, my fucking hair. Look at my fucking long hair, Such a hippie. Save me. Save me from myself. There's a dog. He's back. He's back. Are you back, Jack? What's up, Samson? You gonna go back to bed? You gonna go back to bed? Go on, go back to bed. Good morning.
mister. Good morning, little mister. He's looking over his shoulder like, are we going to do this or what? No, I'm out of here. Let me check his room here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Órale, man. Órale, así. Oh my god. Oh. Pain is my life. My life is pain. I've known this for most of my life. I mean, I've been in one form of pain or another my entire life. It's always something physical, mental, emotional, you know, broken fucking heart. I mean, you name it, I'm always in some kind of fucking pain. And this last, 10 years, it's just been so much physical pain. So much physical pain. I mean, it started off as just my neck and my shoulder, and then it went to my entire back, and then another accident. My entire spine is just screwed. I've lost muscle mass, so I got nothing holding my bones together, really. I'm just a, spaghetti man. And the pain has just spread all over my body. It's like my whole body has got, every day I'm like, yeah, today it's this. My wife is just like, oh, jeez. I'm a pin cushion. Somebody's got a voodoo doll, and they're just, every portion of my body's got a pin stick. I look like a pin cushion now. My voodoo doll is just, looks like Pinhead, right? The suffering. It's only going to get worse, asshole. You're telling me. What do I do? Put my trust in the fucking medical industry? I can't. I mean, not. How do you put your trust in people you can't, you feel like you can't trust, right? I don't know. I just don't know. I told my wife I wish I could find a doctor that I could really trust to care about helping me, regardless of what insurance said, right? Because the bottom line is they'll only help you so far as the system is set up to, it's like, so what? You can tell me I'm dying and give me some bullshit fucking panacea and tell me I'm gonna die, and that's the best you can do for me, because my insurance doesn't allow for actual treatment, better treatment, real humane treatment. Yeah. And then you're forced to buy health insurance that doesn't help you, does nothing for you. It's another thing I gotta fucking deal with. Right? Oh yeah. That's a good one. Boy, paperwork. Doing everything I can to keep my benefits. And it's normally it would be easy because our income just we have like no income at this point, just enough to survive, right? Yet, you know, my daughter's going to university and getting financial aid, and that because she's in the household, that counts, and we got to roll that into our finances, which is making it iffy to keep benefits and having to go through a bunch of stuff. I can't afford to lose benefits, nor can our daughter afford to lose benefits at her age, having to do with eyes and teeth and that kind of stuff. Once again, you fall between the cracks. You make a little too much money to get the benefits here, but you don't make enough money to pay for the benefits here, right? And where does that leave you? It leaves you screwed, blued, and tattooed, and fucked with the system, because now they're saying, well, why don't you have it? It shows on record that you should have enough money. Yeah, well, that's bullshit, you know. It never works that way. So they're gonna have to come up with health insurance for me. If I gotta go, you know, if I gotta leave the family and live in a ditch just so that I qualify, that's gonna have to happen. It's just the way it is. But I also have to have this worked out before I take any steps through any procedures, right? I gotta make sure that the benefits are gonna be there to take me through the whole end of the procedure and not just get started and then it's like, now you're on your own. Yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. And I don't, you know, I don't have any real physicality left to go out and hold down a job anymore. As much as I want to go out and to drum up some work and do stuff, I know that I ain't worth a piss, and I'm just wasting people's time and money, and I can't do that. You know, I'm too honest to go out there and take people's money and then give them shit. You know, I can't do that. I can't work for an employer because I can't guarantee that I'm not going to call in sick every other fucking day. And then what does that do to them? Then that screws them, you know? It's the last thing I want to fucking do. Is screw somebody over just so I can make a few bucks, you know? Sounds familiar. Oh, that's right, because it's been done to me before. Usually by an employer. Slipping into darkness, yeah, yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, I guess I'll try to get a few things done today. So I've got to do paperwork. I've got outside shit I need to do. We've got to put together first week of October's educational films to upload. Try to get those uploads done by tomorrow. so I can put together a program guide. Importante, muy importante. Yeah, did he just speak in Spanish or German or both? I don't know. Don't ask me. I just work here. I don't write the script. That wasn't me, that George. Okay. So, I need to sell 40 shirts to pay for the whole 100 shirts. And then 60 shirts are profit. About $1,500. That profit will then go into the kitty for the party to pay for, first of all, a venue and the entertainment. We'll start off small with the small venue, and we'll figure out how many campsites we're going to use for that area, and we'll figure on paying for that. If we sell enough shirts on the outside before the event, then we will get the vacation rental on the beach. And we'll just kind of go somewhere in between there, one or the other, or somewhere in between. So I won't have to sell 1,000 shirts to make this happen, but I will have to get out like a few hundred at least. Probably more like 500 shirts is going to do, God, that's a lot of money, but that's about what we need, you know. We need about 10 grand, you know. Yeah, so if we do about as close as we can to 500 shirts, that's pretty much going to take care of the whole event. You know, it should get us a good venue, and it should get us the good live music we need. It should get us the catering that we need, and it should get us all the little other things that we need. And then we'll have, you know, like a photographer, and have things set up every day for photo shoots for the yearbook. Have the photographer go out and take pictures of the different events that are happening around town. So that when we're done, we've got a nice collection of photographs for a yearbook. And then somebody's going to get with that photographer and create a layout for a yearbook, something that, take a look at a half dozen yearbooks and say, okay, we're going to look for something like, when you're taking pictures, you need to take pictures of this in this style. You need to pretend like you're a high school photographer back in the 80s. So it's going to require a lot of imagination. But man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun on a bun. Totally. Totally. Totally, 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 totally. Yeah. So, if I can get shirts rolling by the end of this month and get shirts going out in October and start the first run of shirts, get that run of shirts paid for. I think the only way that I'm going to be able to do this quickly is by keeping the shirt cost down to a regular shirt price. I think that's the best way that I can do it. You know, keep the shirts about $25. 40 shirts. There's a lot of shirts to pay for, or a lot of shirts to get rid of to pay for the remaining balance. To pay for all of the shirts, I need to sell 40 shirts per 100. And I keep saying selling, but it's, you know, there's no sales involved. It's all about donations. You know, if you want to donate more for your 2 shirts, do that. For your 1 shirt, buy 5 shirts and donate more. Whatever, you know. Because this is going to be, getting started is going to be the rough part, as it's, you know, already obvious. Getting started. Boy, when Oliver was up here, he just covered me in white hairs. Yeah. I think once I get others involved with the shirts, I think the seriousness of this will be known to more people. I don't want it to be a folly. I don't want it to start off with a great head of steam and then fizz out, you know. I think shirts and a show are going to be a way to keep people's interest and keep the donations coming in, you know. So that even if you don't necessarily want to join us, the shirts are going to be so appealing that you're going to want to donate, just so you can get a shirt, right? Just so you can get a shirt. So I think the first set of shirts that I'm going to do, I'm going to sell in blocks of 20. So that we'll do 20 shirts, and I'll take that money and use that toward the balance. Here's half of it. Sell another 20 shirts, pay off the balance of the shirts, and then continue to sell the rest of the shirts, 55 or 60, whatever's left. And at the same time, release new shirts, and then sell 40 of those shirts to pay for the rest, to pay for the whole balance. And then move on like that until we get all of the shirts in production and all of the shirts going out. And it's just going to be word of mouth on Facebook. That's it. That's all we're going to do. I'm going to do this little live show on YouTube and share it to the group, the couple of groups, the reunion thing and the Elsinore group, right? And my page and whoever else wants to share it. But I'm going to design it so that it's meant for people coming to this thing, or for people who are interested, or for people who want to help in some way. And just have a little half-hour show. Hopefully get people on the show, do it on a Wednesday after work, 6:30 Pacific Standard, so that I can get people on from anywhere in the country and have them come on for 5 minutes, answer some questions, talk about their interests in the reunion, and have them wearing their shirt, mainly. And have them explaining how easy it was for them to get their shirt, And I think by doing blocks of 20, that I can have them print sets of 20 shirts at a time, and then cut down on the amount of setups that we have to do, right? And get those, like, okay, here's half the money for this run of shirts, 100 shirts, here's half the money. The next 20 shirts, there's the rest of the money. Those shirts are paid for. Let's try to get, a couple of runs of shirts at a time together, 20 of these and 20 of these, and do them in blocks of 20. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 100 of each shirt, so that not only are they kind of a vintage retro shirt with hometown stuff on it, but it's a short run. It's a limited series of shirts. I'm going to have a special label put in the back here. Maybe I'll put, I don't think we can do a rolling number, but I'll put in there limited series, 100 shirts made. That's it. And I think that will bump up the appeal, knowing that not everybody's going to have this particular shirt. And if they do, it's got to have that label in the back that says this is the real deal, man. It ain't no bullshit. No copycat. No, none of those shirts with the anchor on it that says Lake Elsinore, right? Those, the ones sold by my kid's autistic and he designed this shirt, and they join every group imaginable, and it's always a different name, but it's always the same fucking story. It's just bullshit. It's just some, greedy company out there trying to use heartstrings to get you to buy their fucking bullshit shirts, and they're scammers, and I will not allow. I see that shit on the groups, and I have them yanked. Because it's bullshit, and it's fucked up that people buy those shirts because they think that they're helping out, and it's just, and they're just getting fucked. If it's legitimate, yeah, I'm ready to help. But when it's the same bullshit story given in a million groups, and it's the same shirt, you get the Lake of Winnetonka, and it's the same shirt. Lake Tahoe, same shirt. The beach, same shirt. Bathtub, same shirt with the anchor. It's just stupid. Fucking stupid. So I don't go into for those novelty shirts. The fake bullshit novelty shirts. The scam shirts. I go in for real, designed by real people, not bullshit programs where they just swap out the name of the town. Ugh. And you look at somebody's wearing that same shirt, and only it's got the name of their town on it. Lake Winnetonka. Hey, you got my same shirt. You're not going to find that with my shirts. They're going to say specifically, this is, you're not going to find this particular graphic meaning anything else except for Lake Elsinore, California. And I can't reveal any of the shirt designs. I've got at least 10 shirt designs right now in the works, and I can't reveal any of them until they're printed and I have a sample wearing a sample. Then I can say, look. Because if I give it away, people are going to go, oh, well, I don't know. I want it to be like, pow, this is the shirt. They're going to go, yeah, I want one of those. Send me 3. And I'm going to come out with 2. And then a 3rd, and then a 4th, and then a 5th, and it's just going to come out with 2 first, and then the next show, like in a week or 2 weeks, whatever I decide to do the show, it'll be okay. Here's shirt design number 3. Okay, next show, here's design number 4, and do it like that. I don't want everything to come all out at once. I want the momentum to build again. I want us to build up some steam and get excited about what's happening and have these really righteous shirts to tell the story of how we prepared for this thing and how our past coincides with our present and all of this. And he's talking weird shit again. You know it, man. You know it. You're all worked up. But it's been, you know, years in the making. It's been months in the planning stages, you know, and now we're getting to where we're going to have shirts made, and we're going to have a live show to present the shirts and the reunion and everything that's going on. And we'll take polls on stuff. Okay, who, you know, these are the different catering services that have food trucks. You know, we're going to get 1 or 2 food trucks every night, right? Except for maybe one, where we're just going to do a giant group meal prepared by everybody. All the shopping, the cooking, the prep, everything. Everybody's going to get together and have a hand in. So a couple of the nights, we're going to do food trucks. So we're going to poll what kind of food trucks. You know, we're going to poll, you know, different things that we're going to want there. You know, camping, vacation rental, private beach versus campground beach. You know, what, you know, should we get a campground and spend extra money on renting some, like a pontoon boat, like a big flat boat, party boat, right, to park on shore, you know, right there in the water, and be able to take out. Should we think about doing this instead of that, or this instead of that? You know, so as we get further on, we'll start to, you know, build up a reserve of funds to start planning the, you know, what we're going to ink in for sure and for certain. And I want this to be everybody's thing, so I want to get people involved, and I want them to know that it's their party, and I want to do this so that it's suited for them. You know, that's why it's not a drug booze party. It's a family thing. It's going to be set up for kids and grandkids. If we get to it and there's no kids and grandkids, then we might alter that a little bit and allow things to get a little looser. But we're not going to be selling booze. We're not going to be, you know, we'll have a beer garden and a smoking area, regardless of what happens, because we're going to want people to kind of not rub stuff in the noses of people who have gone past that, right, and are in a different place in their lives. So, yeah, I'm trying to make it all-inclusive, you know, sunrise services and pancake breakfast and bagged lunches and parties on the water and hikes and biking and boating and fishing, and, you know, just try to make it for everybody so that, you know, dad and grandkid and grandpa can sit on the lake and fish together and know that they don't have to hear or smell or, you know, everything's cool, you know. So, yeah, to get to a place, an Airbnb or a vacation rental, right, to get there a day or so early so that we can set stuff up, right? It'll probably be a day early and a day late. So that's extra money there, you know. Otherwise, we've got to have a lot of people showing up to set up. And, you know, if we do a vacation rental, there's not going to be much to set up. We know ahead of time that this is where we're going to clear patio furniture and set up a band. You know, we know that we've got a kitchen to use, so we don't have to set up a barbecue area. We've got bathrooms, so we don't have to set up porta. We don't have to do this and this and this, because it's a vacation rental and it has all the amenities that we need. You know, whereas if we do it at a campground, we got to get there a few days early, leave a few days late, build a stage, cordon everything off. You know, I mean, it's going to be a big deal if we camp. So I'm hoping we make enough money to do a vacation rental and pull this off so freaking Gucci, it's going to want to happen every year. Right? That's what I'm hoping. That either way it goes, it has to happen every year after this. That's what I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Scout's honor. What? Yeah, well, crap. I guess it's about time for me to go. I gotta get something to eat. And do some kind of plan of attack for today. I gotta get my ducks in a row and figure out what I'm gonna do this morning throughout the whole day, so that I'm too busy to go to sleep. You know, I think at some point here I'll take a shower and get cleaned up so I'm ready to run out of the house. But I don't want to shower too quick, because if I do, I'm just gonna and want to lay down. Happens every time. So I think right before I'm ready to take off and leave the house this afternoon, I'll take a nice cold shower and get cleaned up and get out and get some things together. I think it's going to be good to use fence boards for this gate, because even though they can become brittle over time, I think if I make this correctly, it'll be easy to repair if I need to repair it, right? So set it up so that my slat boards slide in, and it's got these boards across that keep it sturdy, right? And then have one end of it that I can just take some screws out and pull all the boards out and replace one that cracks or one that gets pushed out by a dog or something. So I'm going to have to design that into the gate. So I'll be screwing around with all kinds of cool shit today. Try to get outside and put up some shelves. Try to get this priced and ready to go. So if there's anyone out there, hey, have a good day. Thanks for joining me. It's been fun. It's been real. It ain't been real fun, but it's been. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Join me, and we'll hang out and do some more of this. Do a whole lot more of a whole lot of nothing, right? But just remember out there, when you're out in the world, all right, be sure to spread peace and love, not bullshit. Spread peace and love, kindness, you know, and when you're doing something for yourself, like you should, be sure to do something for somebody else out there. We're not alone. All right, people. Y'all take care. Most especially, stay weird. Love ya. I will see you tomorrow morning, and then again tomorrow night for nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. And the video time machine. That's going to be great. All right, people. Love you. Adios. I'll see you on the flippity flip flop. Catch you later. Woo.